Howdy, everybody. Howdy, humans. Howdy, Piss Brothers. Why the fuck did the music stop? Hold on. Hold on. The music was fine. Yeah, it wasn't fine. Okay, now it's fine. How's everyone doing? How we doing today, PO? How we doing, CC? How we doing, Docs? I kind of know how Docs is doing right now. I was talking to him before stream. I know PO will be betting soon. Hold on. God damn it, really? VTube Studio, I swear to God. I swear to God, VTube Studio. Every day with the same fucking shit. Where's the microphone settings? Where's the microphone settings? Microphone. There we go. That's better. I love how I noticed the minute like differences in how my phone is, and how my mouth is supposed to be moving when I'm using my model. I noticed it was just a little off. Fucking Skinwalker's got nothing on me, man. They would never be able to get past me in my vibe checks. I do like the idea of using Little Eye as a means of making people gamble. And the funny thing is, chat, I could make it target people. I could have it target specific people without them having to, type exclamation point pet. Bleh. Exclamation point pet. Jesus Christ. Why can't I talk today? You don't have an emote? Yeah, sounds like a skill issue. Just spend like 1 or 3 years grinding out affiliate like some people I know did. The talker. I'm not talking though. I'm not talking well. I'm talking incorrectly. I'm sucking at it, to be frank. Hello, Rami. I see you're trying to pet your son. Thank you for that, CC. And hi, Tiny. Hope you're doing well today, buddy. I'll take care of that. I literally just grabbed a water, actually, so. Realized I needed it for this stream today. Hey, Tiny, would you care to gamble your life, 60 seconds of your life away by petting Little Rye a bunch? I've made it so there's a 1 in 100 chance that when you type exclamation point pet to pet Little Rye, he will just eat you, and you will be timed out for 60 seconds. It's very funny. Very funny. We had a lot of fun with it tomorrow. Corey was the only one who got bit twice. And he spammed everyone was spamming the shit out of it. And the only person who got bit was Corey. It was funny. Yeah, no, dude. Like, I literally could just go in to mix it up, set someone's name as the target, and I could just gamble for them. Hell, y'all could gamble for them. Oh my god, now I just got the funniest fucking idea of just like chat somehow dictating somebody to like go on Little Rye's plate. And thus every time they pet, they risk timing out that person. And there's like ways to like rotate it. Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be really funny. I need to see, well, pet him more. Fucking control V that shit, motherfucker. Feed Little Rye. You're not feeding him well enough. Try harder. I know you can control V that shit. Everyone did it yesterday. Nobody should have got banned. Also, I just remembered that I need to give Rami VIP real quick before I forget, because I will continue to forget, because I am just that fucking stupid. I am in fact that dumb. Alrighty, there we go. Add new. There we go. And VIP. I have 4 VIP rules left. I may need to go through and cull some of them. Not gonna lie. I don't know. Everyone here, like, I feel comfortable leaving there for the most part. For the most part. There might be, actually, I think I see a couple people I might call. Just a few. Not a lot, though. Mostly just due to the fact that they don't show up, but we'll cross that bridge when I actually need to, like, reduce VIP rolls. I have a 30-second cooldown. You do?
This garden is everyone's!
You shouldn't. You shouldn't have a 30-second cooldown. Everyone else was spamming it yesterday. Coral Reef and Circuit were spamming it. I wonder if it's an exception for VIPs thing. It might be. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Maybe. Maybe there's a whitelist of exceptions I can make. No idea, but I cannot spam it as fast. See, like I said I'm gonna do it later, but now like it's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me to not like look at it and at least see what I can do. Yeah, Docs can do it just fine. I don't know why Rami can't. Also, Docs might get bitten at current rates. At current rates, Docs may be bitten. Permitted terms and phrases. These are things that would get caught by auto mod, though. What about spam protection? Where is that? Auto mod rule sets. Blah blah blah. Really doesn't work. Harmful chatter detection. Ban chatters, shared ban info. Non-mod chat delay. It's a short delay before non-mods see messages. Yeah, no, not really seeing anything that could change it. At least in my end. Maybe it's a Nightbot thing, but it shouldn't be. And if it did, I set it for VIPs because I know I didn't do anything with Docs on a Nightbot. I know I didn't do that. Docs, are you still going? Oh my god, you are still going. Docs survived. They live for now, despite everything. Docs keep going. It's safe to be eaten by low, right? That's right. You only lose a few of your limbs. Just only a few. You just lose a few fingers in the process of digestion. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, I have no idea why you can't spam it, Rami. Genuinely, I have no fucking idea. I don't know why Docs can spam it. Circuits can spam it because he's a mod. But Coral Reef could spam it. I don't know why you can't spam it because I made you VIP and that's probably like the only shared thing between everybody. Damn, this little bastard doesn't want to eat me. I mean, he did taste you once. He did taste you a singular time. Maybe he just thought you were disgusting, Docs. Did you ever think about that? Did you ever think about the fact that just Little Rye did not want to eat you twice? Reef must have been real tasty, though, because he ate him twice. Bring Corey. Who the fuck is Corey? The corrosive blood made him think otherwise. I mean, he shouldn't be that weak to corrosion. I don't know. He's not as dense as me is. I know that much, but he is like really fucking durable. Not sure if he would. Not sure how vulnerable he is to acid. Who knows? I forgot the name. What name? Who is Corey? Who is Corey? EST me. I'm doing my best, Rami. I'm already on the East Coast. I'm ESTing you best I can. Oh my god. Christ almighty. Yeah, I have no idea. I did not spend wait till midnight animating him to not eat me. No idea. I confused name. Maybe we'll learn who Corey is eventually. But seriously, okay, I'm gonna. God, it's bothering me. Why can't Rami spam pet? I don't get it. I genuinely do not get it. It's bugging me. It's really bugging me. Doc, stop taunting Rami. Stop making fun of them. Okay, hold on. Twitch spam protection. Let me see if I can fix that. So people can't spam the same message. Use Nightbot. It always looked like a direct message, which is it really? Is it Nightbot? Is it really Nightbot? Is it really a Nightbot thing? Hold on. All right, so he's already in my fucking chat. Like I don't need him twice. I do not require him twice. Okay. Chat moderation. Blacklist, shared chat, shared to your chat, links, excess caps, excess emotes. I have repetitions disabled. I don't have anything enabled on that. So I don't know. I genuinely do not know why Rami is the only one who can spam pet. Maybe it's 'cause Docs is subbed? Maybe? I don't know. I do not know. Maybe it's because Docs is subbed. Like, that was the one common thread. Everyone was subbed. I think. Don't quote me. But I think that might be it. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. We're shelving this for now. Yeah, it is really weird. I can only assume it's because you guys are subbed, because there's no other, like, shared trait. I mean, Circuit isn't subbed to me either, but he's a mod. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can set fucking fire to a children's hospital on 3rd Avenue and everything will be perfectly fine. The fun part is it won't be him setting fire. It'll just be his PC fucking melting in the Brazilian summer. Oh my god. Okay, we should actually get to the fucking game instead of trying to troubleshoot shit again. I don't want a repeat of yesterday. I don't want a repeat of yesterday where I spent most of the stream just troubleshooting Little Rye. Again. Oh, right before we move on, Rami got their wish. On the last fucking frame.
Yippee!
Congratulations. Oh my god. Okay, now I need to move over. That was amazing. Oh, the timing on that could not have been better.
Little dragon daddy.
Silence. Put the horny away. Also, is the fucking bakery from Robot Alchemic Drive? Yes, it is! We played it for like 2 episodes and then we stopped. Because it kinda got boring after a little bit. Like, look, the funny voice acting was funny initially, and then it just kinda got boring. Though we did unlock a cool robot right before we stopped. But I haven't...
No! The bakery! That's where I work!
Yeah. Yeah, we never went back to it. Rami got their wish. They're happy now. I was watching a highlight video of a guy playing it and got jump scared. Just like, wait, I've seen this before. Like a core memory unlocking. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But Robot Alchemic Drive was fun for like a couple episodes, but like once like just the hilarity of the bad voice acting wore off, I was just bored with like this really like not great plot, this stupid like love triangle bullshit. Like I just like it was taking itself just a little too seriously, and thus it became boring. It was sad. It was sad. All right, let's actually fucking play the game now. Actually do that. gonna crack open a nice room temperature Zevia. Have a good time. Have a good time tonight. There we go. Oh man, this is a loaded ass fucking room. Perfect time. It really was. Like, okay, we're gonna go on to the game. And then as soon as I said that, you got chomp. The test results have just come in, sir. Traces of ubiquium were found in the teapot. They were? Just like Mr. Edgeworth said. We got Dr. Pepper. We'll both crack open room temperature drinks. Yeah. Cheers. I'm not sure if it picked up on the mic, but I tapped it with the can. Percy, you better not think this means you beat me. You really need to drop this obsession with coming in first, Mr. Wiener. We're all on the same side here, remember? We're all trying to get to the truth. What? But first is best! Everybody knows it's better to be a wiener than a loser! You know, I kinda like with Eustace. I kinda like how it's just like preventing another Von Karma with him. Someone who's just obsessed with winning. I like how I kinda like that like narrative decision between him and Edgeworth. I actually like that a lot. Him kinda being like a sort of mentor, like a preventative measure from making another Von Karma. Teach him Edgeworth, mentor him, get him to play Among Us. I actually bought one Dr. Pepper. Hey yo, we all got soda tonight. Among Us. That's really no way for a prosecutor to think. A successful one, anyway. But I... Shut up, Gavelle. Enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Please refrain from taunting the boy. He literally was not doing that. Ignore him, Eustace. He isn't worthy of your attention. But Gavelle, all right. Why don't I take care of things for now? In the meantime, you can perform the far more important task of going and checking on the victim. It is better to be the best. That's a line from the translation, Norami. You can't say that. He's winner now. The best is no more. Yeah, good idea. I'll be right back. Excellent. We shall see you shortly then. Mr. Wiener's annoying, but totally harmless. Judge Gavelle, on the other hand. Now... Miss Bound, perhaps you could explain why traces of ubiquium were found in your teapot. I had no idea there was anything like that in there. Perhaps this is one of the ingredients in the dishwashing soap I use. So you are telling the court that you did not intentionally put ubiquium in the teapot? Yes, exactly. Why would I? Until today, I had no idea it could even be used to make poison gas. Sadly, I only got one Dr. Pep, so I'm saving it for another time. Damn. You're a trained actress, are you not, Miss Bound? I'd have thought you would be a more convincing liar. Well, what do you mean? You have access to the Ultimate Cookbook, correct? A book that just happens to contain instructions on how to create the poison gas used in the attack. Meaning it's perfectly possible for you to know exactly how to make it. You're very well informed, Mr. Edgeworth. Literal just one can cannot buy it in group. Damn. Fucking Paraguay life, I guess. Miss Bound, is what Mr. Edgeworth said true? The book does contain information on how to make the poison gas, yes. But the fact that I have seen it doesn't make me guilty. Can I ask exactly how the gas was triggered? The victim used a blowtorch to heat the lid of one of the display cases, thereby melting the ubiquium. I see. But he locked himself in the room too, didn't he? Surely that and the fact he triggered it himself. Wouldn't it point to being a suicide attempt? But she's not willing to admit anything. Furthermore, where would I have gotten a hold of the Infesticide Ultra? Oh, don't I know? Perhaps you stole it. You know, I did bump into Moody Judy a week or so ago. And that very evening, I noticed infesticide odor had gone missing. Judy, surely you didn't. Delicia, you carry a bag of pharmaceuticals with you everywhere, don't you? There would have been any number of opportunities for someone other than myself to steal it from you. That's true. I don't have any hard evidence that it definitely was Miss Bound who stole it. Rose, that's clearly something you're not telling us. Why don't you just come clean, We all know you never hurt somebody for no reason, so... Not to you, too. You think I'd be guilty as well, Mr. Fender. Can you blame me? You've got one cranberry disguised as another, a gas trap in one of the display cases, and you're the proprietor of the establishment. It's looking a lot like you did it, kiddo. Send Rami a care package. Unfortunately, they don't have affiliate yet either, so we can't do that. You got this all wrong. But to remember, the gallery doesn't have any security cameras, nor any security personnel. If some ill-intentioned person or other wanted got to undetected, I don't think they'd have much of a problem. Wow, you're practically asking to be burglarized. Be more careful. A great thief could have a field day in here. And ironically, would love a care package of Reese's Cups and Dr. Leps, and I could send you a care package from here that does include snacks, pastries, and yerba mate as freebies. You're fine, Rami. I unfortunately probably wouldn't be able to eat most of the shit in there anyway because of my diet. It's pretty strict. I usually can't eat most gifts. A lot of people try to work around my diet, but like almost everyone fails. Unless I tell them a specific thing to buy me, almost everyone buys me something I can't eat, and I always feel bad. Mine ain't strict. I know yours aren't strict. And I don't think she's joking. And actually, it seems that Mr. Gusto did in fact enter the gallery before it opened. Fish, Judy is one tough cookie. She's not budging an inch. Maybe it's time to rock a little technique Gregory taught me back in the day. And what technique might that be? So hear me out. Everything's connected to what happened 18 years back, yeah? And since we're not getting anywhere by focusing only on the here and now, maybe we ought to approach this from a different angle and look to the past for clues instead. I know a brand of German vegan cold tea, but is it keto? Like, everyone can do vegan or keto. Getting both is the hard part. Getting both is the rough part for people. Turnabout in thinking. So my father used this method as well. Alright, let's run this through the old think-a-tron. How was Jude's involved in what happened back then? According to Miss Bound, it was because of her that Mr. Frost's flavored ice sculptures melted. Yet his sculptures are here on display at this very gallery today. Is it possible that she... Thank you, Fender. I think I know what I need to ask Miss Bound now. My diet is Dr. Pepper. Yes, I know your diet is Dr. Pepper. I'm gonna go redeem Hydrate on your channel just to make you drink something else. You know what? I'm doing that right now. I'm gonna go do that right now. Immediately. Alright, Alien Schmalien is at the top of my search results. Yay. You will hydrate. Alright, where is it? There it is. That's better. There we go. I redeemed a Hydrate. Go take care of yourself. Why? What? I'm innocent! I was just making him drink some water! Miss Bound, you say that you were the one who caused Mr. Frost's creations to melt 18 years ago, correct? I'm afraid so. I was young and foolish, and it was a terrible accident. And yet, what you did allowed you to open this exhibit, no? What do you mean? Yes, what do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? You're going to ask such questions.
Perhaps a formal testimony from Miss Bound might be best. Yes, perhaps it might. I'd like to know a little more about Zodiac Hall, about why Miss Bound decided to dedicate this space to Mr. Frost's works. Very well. If you believe it to be relevant to the case, I will allow it. Miss Bound, would you mind? Not at all. I'll do whatever it takes to prove that I'm innocent. And please, if you could give us some background on Zodiac Hall and the pieces on display here.
Wait, is iced tea keto, I wonder? I should see what it has, or I make my own vegan keto iced tea. I mean, keto is essentially really low carb. Really low carb, like no sugar. No sugar. Stevia is fine. Other, like, different sweeteners that don't have, like, carbs in them are fine. But sugar's a big no-no.
It took 18 years, but at long last I was finally able to buy Samson's home back a little while ago. And a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery. To that end, I collected as many Paul Helika pieces as I could from around the world. Because if I'm honest, it's always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work.
Also seems Terrere is low-key both, unless caffeine doesn't count. Caffeine is fine. Caffeine is fine for me. The soda I'm drinking right now has caffeine in it. Caffeine is literally whatever. Why am my message not sent? I don't know. Scale issue, probably. Whatever it was. Hey, is bread a banned word? No. Unless you wrote it as B-R-E-D. Then maybe. Did she remake the melted ones herself? Potentially, we're gonna see.
Thank you for your testimony, Bound. How wonderful it is that you were able to fulfill your dream. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, everything seems entirely above board to me.
Judge Gavelle was simply the witness's preliminary statement. As you surely know, the value of that testimony cannot be evaluated without due cross-examination.
Aha. Spoken like a true attorney. Very well. You may do what you must.
All I said was keto bread is so expensive. Does depend what you buy. I kind of cheap out a little with $6.47 right now, which isn't like perfectly keto, but it's fine enough for me. But there are better keto breads that are more expensive, but $6.47 is like the most cheap one. That's still like more low carb than like most bread. Alright. Able to buy Samson's home back a little while ago, but a place like this is expensive to maintain, so I decided to turn it into an art gallery. This is the part I'm curious about.
Hold it!
What the fuck is $6.47? It's a bread. That's the name of the bread. $6.47. I literally just eat rye. The funny thing is, they've come out with a... I noticed in the store yesterday, they have a rye bread now. They have a rye bread version that's like lower carb. I was like, oh my god, it was tempting. But it was also like higher carb than like the Italian loaf I buy, so yeah. All my housemates is doing keto right now, and we bought buns today, and it was like $13 or something. Honestly, I just abandoned buns entirely, and I just eat like burgers, like... I just eat burgers like with the patty and just the patty. My vegan burgers. And as for I do buy hot dog buns for a very there's one very specific vegan hot dog I love. The brand is called Field Roast. It's their stadium dogs. Oh, they're fucking delicious. But for some reason I can never find them sold around here. They were in a store for a bit, but it seems like they're not in stock anymore, and that makes me sad.
Paul Helika, that was Mr. Frost's pseudonym, correct?
Yes, he adopted it a while back when he was working as a sculptor in France.
See, I'm curious about some of the pieces in your collection, more specifically. How were you able to acquire the Taurus and Gemini sculpture? It was my understanding that Mr. Frost died before he could complete them.
Yes, I was able to create replicas for the Winter Ring based on photos of the sculptures he made.
Really? Perhaps you could go into some more detail on that.
Because, if I'm honest, it's always been something of a dream of mine to open a space dedicated to his work. Oh. The Winter Wing based on photos of the sculptures he made. Let's see here. Statues matching those made by the victim 18 years ago. Icy statue sketch. I'm thinking here. Melted contents of the Gemini case. Sugar composition matches that. Sugar found in the pale blue liquid in Artie Frost room 18 years ago. Sugar detected in Fan Noir also seems to be a match. Epis. Gallery pan flip. I think I'm most curious about... The thing is, they look very similar to what? Like, this is the originals, and, like, the pieces in, like, the other wing where Gusto was killed, well, attempted to be killed, are just, like, edited versions of the originals. Have you ever seen ice rinks made of fucking plastic? I have not. That's a thing? They make ice rinks out of plastic? These photos you mentioned, you mean the ones you yourself took in Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago? Yes, you certainly know a lot about what happened back then, Mr. Edgeworth. So the statues in the Winter Wing were just copies? I didn't get to see them before they melted. No, the sculptures in question were definitely not replicas. Which means Miss Bound is lying. I know, it's such an awful shame, and after we went to the trouble to recreate them too. Sculptures in the Winter Wing weren't replicas, they're the very ones from 18 years ago. I need to show I'm aware of that, or I'll never get to the truth. Wait, how do we know they're the same ones? The Winter Wing. Oh, the harp. The harp, the lyre. Objection! Fuck. Or could you take a look at my latest dance routine instead? I'm quite proud of it. Your dance routines have nothing to do with this case, Miss Bound. But neither does that piece of evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. I used to take ice skating before I moved to Florida. One year, this place nearby said they had a genuine ice rink. This was before our winters were a nice, cool fucking 75. Being an ice skater, I was like, holy shit, Polly, we went, it was just cold plastic. Damn. I feel like that's grounds to sue them. I feel like that's grounds to sue them for something. Statues matching those made by the victim 18 years ago. But what of the fucking... What the fucking... Anybody... Gemini... Oh wait, Gemini case analysis. Hold on. The Gemini was the Winter Wing. Sugar composition matches that. Of sugar. Okay, this one. Objection! There we go. It's only been a week. Cut me some slack. I'm afraid you've run out of road, Miss Bound. You can lie all you like, but you can't deny the result of the tests conducted on the sculpture's remains. And those tests leave no room for ambiguity. What you had on display weren't replicas. They were the very statues Mr. Frost carved 18 years ago. Oh, I could probably help explain how they worked it out if you like, dear. Oh wait, hold on, wrong voice. It's the sugar you see. You might think sugar, but composition is actually very unique.
could probably recreate statues, but sweet secret of their chemical makeup. No chance. Thank you, Miss Scone. I don't recall asking for help, but still. Exclamation point! To put it simply, the statues didn't disappear back then because they melted. They disappeared because you spirited them away and kept them hidden for those 18 long years.
What? She kept a pair of flavored ice sculptures around somewhere for all that time?
It's not the most out there idea in the world, assuming you had a big enough icebox.
Quiet, all of you. Miss Bound, have you had anything to say in your defense? So you've already learned that much? Should I take that to mean you admit to having hidden the flavored ice sculptures in question? No, I admit to no such thing. You haven't proven that I was the one who took those statues away. And you won't, because it would have been impossible for me to do so in the first place. The police were already here when they disappeared. How could I have done it without them noticing?
How indeed. I don't yet know exactly how you did it, but I'm far from ready to say that it was impossible for you to have stolen them away.
You're a very persistent man, aren't you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I am indeed, and I won't stop until I get to the truth.
I see. Then I'd better tell you exactly what I did that day 18 years ago.
Solving what his daddy couldn't.
The whole time before judging began, I was waiting upstairs in our living area on standby. During the judging, I had to go change the camera's film cartridge for Simon. But before I could take the camera back to Samson, I discovered Mr. Frost's body. Later on, when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everybody present. That was when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room. And those were my movements on the day it all happened. I hardly see how you could take an issue with any of that.
That's for us to decide, Miss Bound.
Are you saying there's a contradiction in her story, Mr. Edgeworth?
More focused on proving the fact that she did indeed steal those statues. Question is when she would have had the opportunity to do so. From point that, I may be able to prove exactly what she got up to. Okay. I was waiting upstairs in our living area to go change the camera's film cartridge. He did do that. So before I could take the camera back, I discovered Mr. Frost's body. Later on, when your father arrived, I began to make the rounds and serve tea to everybody present. That's when I saw Mr. Gusto entering Mr. Frost's room. Let's see here. Murder weapon, rock salt lamp. Prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Statute of limitations expired 3 years ago on December 24th. Organized a confectionery contest. Victim's body was found inside one of his creations, leading to his arrest. While in detention, Tango discovered that he had a taste disorder, which was subsequently cured via medication. Convicted as accomplished based on his confession. It was Paul Halik, under which name he was a renowned sculptor. Contestant in the confectionery contest body was discovered in Tangaroa's room. Cause of death was blood loss following a blow to the head. Judy Bound's prized possessions. There's just this little thingy. Chocolate, slightly melted after being kept in her pocket. Depicting exactly what Larry saw. Photo of Frost, Gusto, and their sons. Gusto's son visited his father daily up through the semi-final. Frame finger marks, no accompanying prints. She's matching the made by the victim 18 years ago. Used by Frost to transport ice 18 years ago. The top of the platform is wet. I think we need to press on some stuff.
Hold it!
Just as you did today?
Yes, I went around and offered everybody working on this investigation a cup of tea.
Present company included. I remember it well. You were here, upstairs, downstairs, everywhere with that little cart of yours. Interesting. Did anything strike you as strange around that time? Oh yeah. Gregory was singing the praises of Judy's tea, and I think he mentioned his saucer was cold. His saucer was cold? Was this the moment when Miss Bound stole the sculptures? It was. Miss Bound, I believe this was when you stole the sculptures.
I hate to contradict you, but the fountain room was full of witnesses at that point, Mr. Fender included. Are you suggesting that I somehow got the sculptures out of Mr. Frost's room right under everyone's noses?
That is precisely what I am suggesting. Miss Bound stole those ice sculptures, and she did it by hiding them here.
Take that!
My father and Fender had no idea that one of the sculptures was mere inches away from them. As it wasn't just a tea set you were pushing around Miss Bound, but a hidden ice sculpture in a glass case.
Ah!
Surely such a thing would have been impossible. How would a case of that size fit on a serving cart? It would have been spotted immediately. Who said anything about a serving cart?
What? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Edgeworth. What are you suggesting she used instead?
I'm suggesting that Miss Bound used this to transport the ice sculptures.
Take that!
And this is...
The cart that Miss Bound used to move the flavored ice sculptures out of this room. Out of Mr. Frost's room 18 years ago. And it would appear that the very same cart is still here with us in this fountain room, as is this Darkrai I found earlier. And she's really just kept it all that time, huh? I find it funny, the idea that she could literally just could have, like, not kept that cart, and she might be fine right now.
We originally bought it for use in the contest. Are you saying that Miss Bound loaded Mr. Frost's sculptures onto his cart and carried them off?
I am. As you can imagine, all one would need to do is lay the case on its side, have a tablecloth, and look exactly like a normal serving cart, thus allowing her to move the sculptures around freely.
Can it be?
Holy moly! Of course. That's why those saucers were so chilly. They were sitting on top of a big block of ice. Dude, how could you, bro? She was literally just a fucking fangirl. And she may have killed for it.
Then again, you are Mr. Gregory Edgeworth's son. I should have expected no less. There isn't a scrap of evidence that I stole the sculptures all those years ago now. And yet, I knew that no matter what I said or did, I would always be under a cloud of suspicion.
So you admit it? You admit you stole them from Mr. Frost's room?
Yes, yes I do. I took the sculptures in the glass cases out of that room 18 years ago. As Mr. Edgeworth correctly deduced, I dressed up the leaf cart as a serving cart to do it. And I slipped in and out of Mr. Frost's room. I was going around serving tea to everybody. In the end, I removed not only the sculptures, but the flavored ice Zodiac blocks as well.
Zodiac blocks? I feel I've seen them for myself before. Huge block of ice on display here. Must be incredibly heavy though. Maybe not, with it being hollow on the inside. The Winter Wing really is an exact replica of Mr. Frost's room from 18 years ago. Even though my father never saw them because they'd already melted, Zodiac blocks must have been in the victim's room back then as well.
When I had finished moving the 2 ice sculptures and the 2 Zodiac blocks out, I took 2 fresh empty cases to Miss Frost's room and put them where the original 2 had. Only the sculptures had been kept in glass cases, you see, to prevent them from being damaged. The blocks were a little more robust, so they had been displayed as is. As I stated in the contest rules, we were responsible for providing all display materials, including cases.
meaning it would have been easy for her to prepare these empty spares she swapped in.
Mr. Frost's room contained quite a few other flavored iceworks in progress. I figured if I melted them down somehow, the resulting powder would look like it came from the sculptures. And that is how the sculptures from 18 years ago came to be in the winter ring today.
I have to say, Mr. Edgeworth, that's quite the confession. Indeed, and I think she offered it so willingly because she knows there's nothing we can do with it.
That's all I have to tell you. However, despite everything I shared, you can't charge me with anything now, can you?
What? How do you figure that?
Oh my. I would have thought you might know at least this much given we're at a crime scene. I suggest you memorize the various statutes of limitations outlined in this book.
Statutes of what? Statutes of limitation. Book explain. I love this little cat so much. Statutes for dummies. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna read it myself. I don't need Edgeworth. Theft. 7 years from the day of the crime. Separate time frames apply with regards to claims for damages. Murder. 15 years from the date of the crime. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. The statute is suspended from the time... Statute is suspended should the suspect flee. Statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. Statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. So there's an extra year there. I see where this is going. We'll keep the foreign country in line as well. Simply put, Kay, prosecutors only have a certain amount of time within which they can put a suspect on trial for a given crime. Let's take a closer look, shall we? God damn it. That was it.
So it's different for every crime? Murder, 15 years. Theft, 7 years.
Ah! Yes, Miss Bound stole the ice sculptures 18 years ago. So it's too late to have her arrested for that crime.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, but defense attorneys only have 3 days. It's so balanced and fair. I love it!
Theft is a serious matter, thank you for the head pats. Especially when it involves the removal of evidence from a crime scene. However, as you yourself just pointed out, Miss Bound, you no longer be prosecuted for a crime. Rendering your revelation rather pointless, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth?
I wouldn't be so sure about that. But you see, the theft of the ice sculptures is my principal interest here. I find the body that reappeared 18 years after the theft to be of considerably more interest.
Are you suggesting that I also hid Mr. Frost's body?
I am indeed. Oh yeah, I had a funny idea for tomorrow. What's your funny idea? Now I'm curious.
How do you keep a body hidden for 18 years without anybody finding it?
By hiding it in a very unusual way.
Ooh, now this is interesting. Are you telling me you know where the body has been for all this time, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's not such a big leap if you think about what Miss Bound has told us already. Let's just say it wasn't just flavored ice that she removed from Mr. Frost's room back then.
Very well, if you are confident in this claim, let us put it to the test. Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, where exactly was Mr. Frost's body hidden?
I've thought about this. I'm not sure if we have enough evidence, but we're going through it anyway. Okay, thank God.
A photograph of Mr. Frost's works.
And of the victim's body, Your Honor.
You will have to forgive me, but I don't see what you mean. Where exactly in this photograph is Mr. Frost's body?
Victim's body is hiding right here. Picking a god and praying.
Take that!
The Gemini sculpture? Yes, it may look like a sculpture at first glance, but is in fact Mr. Frost's corpse.
What? Surely you can't be serious. I don't see anything in the photograph to support such a wild claim.
That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to hide the body in plain sight.
And what piece of evidence might that be? The court demands that you present what was used to conceal the body.
Take that!
One of the cloths from in the autumn wing.
Yes, when it was made to glow in just the right way, it's so visually convincing you might mistake it for ice. Isn't that right, Miss Scone? Well, yes, dear, but you can make it look like just about anything, really. Even blazing fire. In the right shade of blue would make it look like ice. Yes, exactly like it in fact.
It is not the case that a certain special device is needed to generate these colors, though.
Would you care to take another look at the photograph of the Winter Wing, Your Honor? You'll notice there is a small box connected to the bottom of the Gemini display case.
That's
one of the very light-emitting devices in question. Detective Gumshoe even confirmed its presence. In fact, this particular device went missing 18 years ago. Back then, it was no doubt firmly connected to the cloth inside the display case, which means Miss Bound had no choice but to take it with her when she removed the sculpture. So you see, this cloth and the light-emitting device were being used to create the illusion that Mr. Frost's body was in fact a statue carved from ice.
no. This can't be.
Wait, so you're telling me that when we took that photo of us in the Winter Wing, yes, we were standing right in front of the body.
Body and the cloth were both recovered from the fountain. Why were they found there if the body was supposed to be in the Winter Wing disguised as a sculpture?
Yes, there would have been no mystery as to how the body had been hidden if we found it as is. Miss Bound needed to remove Mr. Frost from the Winter Wing in order to throw us off the scent.
Ridiculous. I don't recall her sneaking around our backs to throw a body in the fountain.
No, and she didn't need to, because she had another method at her disposal. Her trusty lift cart, the same cart that had proved so useful in executing her original theft.
What? Ah!
I believed she wheeled the body into one of the other wings and floated it down the stream to the fountain. A frozen body being quite solid probably got stuck somewhere along the way, which is why the cloth appeared at first. The cloth Miss Scone discovered.
And the body followed afterwards when it had thawed out enough? It's an ingenious theory, Mr. Edgeworth. But, can you prove that it was me? It seems a little unfair to expect me to accept your accusations without proof, don't you think?
What about an eyewitness? Do you think someone might have spotted her when she was moving the body? Matter of fact, I do. The contradiction in the piece of evidence I was provided will shed light on exactly how Miss Bound moved the body as well. And before we even get that piece of evidence in her face, we have to take a bit of a small ad break. So this is going to be a good opportunity for everyone to get some water, get some snacks, use the bathroom, do whatever y'all need to do. As soon as we come back, we're gonna... This one right here. Yeah. not complicated. Not really. But regardless, with all that being said, bye for now.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you got done what you needed to get done. Let's get back into this and just do the thing I said I was gonna do. That was, like, really easy. Do you have any evidence? Of course, I have a piece of very compelling proof right here. Then please present it to the court. What evidence do you have that proves Miss Bound acted as you claim? This. More drawings. Is that me? Yes, Mr. Butts drew sketches of people as they passed through the fountain room. What I am interested in is the cart we can see here. Miss Bound's serving cart? What about it? That's a really, like, abrupt, like, jump cut. Don't you see it? She's using the same trick she used 18 years ago. Ergo, we know that Miss Bound was busy moving Mr. Frost's body when this picture was being drawn. What? If I may, I don't see Mr. Frost's body anywhere in that sketch. All I see is a picture of me delivering chocolates to everyone. Really? Then allow me to direct your attention to the color of the tablecloth, Miss Bound. I'd originally thought that Mr. Butts had made an error, but he's assured me that he couldn't possibly be the case. This tablecloth appears to be light blue. Yes, a shade of tablecloth that Miss Bound doesn't seem to own. The cloth only appears to be light blue due to the body hiding just underneath. What? The shape of the cart is perfectly rectangular, just as one would expect. Surely it would be immediately obvious if the tablecloth was being draped directly over the body. Not if the body had been placed inside one of the hollow zodiac blocks in the winter wing. Place one of those on the lift cart and it easily pass muster as a pass muster. I've never heard anyone say that in my life. Pass muster. Muster. I pass and muster are fine. Are there a pass muster? Mustard, pass the mustard. Pass the mustard to me, Gavelle. I'm yellow. It works even though I hate all fucking condiments. You're a mustard dragon. This is true. I'm a mustard dragon. I'm a piss dragon. I'm a lemon lizard. I'm all the above, damn it. Goddess of justice. Mustard. Miss Bound. Surely now you must admit that it was you who moved the body, just as you did 18 years ago. Haha, I didn't expect you to deduce all that from a single simple sketch. But that sketch alone isn't really enough to prove your theory, isn't it? You needn't worry on that front. My case doesn't rest solely on Mr. Butt's artwork. Once you had disposed of the body, your serving cart became a simple lift cart once more. Which is exactly what we discovered here in the fountain room. Without a serving cart, you had to find some place to put your chocolates. My chocolates? The one I was handing out? As we saw in the sketch, you had originally placed them on top of the cart. The chocolates you gave us came from your pocket. Oh yeah, mine was half melted. They're still super sweet and tasty, though. Why did you suddenly feel the need to put chocolates in your pocket, Miss Mountain? Just because you no longer had a serving cart to put them on, that's why. One moment, please. You have explained what Miss Bound did with the chocolates in the lift cart. But, what about the tablecloth? Where did it go? Indeed, if stashing the chocolates in a pocket was the only solution she could think of, doubt Miss Bound had the time to dispose of an entire tablecloth. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have an answer for me? Miss Bound didn't hide or dispose of the tablecloth, Your Honor. In fact, it's right here in front of us. Okay, now I'm lost. Perhaps you would care to enlighten us. Where exactly is the tablecloth Miss Bound used to hide the body? Oh, I see. Miss Bound has the tablecloth on her person, and in plain view, in fact. In plain view? No, surely you don't mean Miss Bound. It's the cloth around your waist, isn't it? And given that the zodiac blocks weren't kept in glass cases, that cloth would have been in direct contact with the ice.
All we would need to do is confirm my theory to test the cloth for traces of the sugar used in Mr. Frost's work. The game is up, Miss Bound. It's time to come clean.
You won't need to test the tablecloth. Everything you said is true. I stole Alicia's Infesticide Ultra, and I moved Mr. Frost's body. It was me. It was all me.
Not so fast.
Geist, what are you about to do?
Delicia, I'm so sorry. Get that fucking evidence out of my face. Last week, I went into your bag and took it. And then, I put it in his pocket, hoping to make it look like he had tried to do himself in. I also made sure to leave no fingerprints but yours, just in case the police expected foul play.
Judy, you... Oh gosh.
But Judes, why? Weren't we supposed to be on the same side, all fighting to get her to free Samson?
We were, but I couldn't afford to get arrested. Not yet. Not until I'd finally proven that Samson is innocent. I always planned to give myself up in the end, I swear. I know it's easy to say that now, but...
I do it this way, though. It's not like you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Fender. I caused you so much trouble. I've been the guilty party all along, ever since that day 18 years ago.
Are you trying to tell us that the true culprit in the IS-7 incident was you?
I committed a terrible crime. I took the sculptures, and I stole them for purely selfish reasons. The moment Mr. Frost died, they became more than mere entries in a confectionery contest. They became the final works of Samson's favorite artists. I couldn't allow them to just melt away, not before he came home. And that meant I couldn't let anybody near them, not even the police. So I hid them. I know it was wrong, but I had to. I put them in the cold storage room for safekeeping. What I had actually done was far worse than anything I could possibly imagine. Because who would have thought that Mr. Frost's body itself was posing as one of the sculptures?
She didn't know about the body when she stole the sculptures.
Samson is a kind man, a saint. He could never kill anybody. Never! And yet, because of what I did, the police never found Mr. Frost's body, and Samson was found guilty. After all he'd done for me, he was my family, the only family I'd ever had. He was the most important person in the entire world to me, and I...
Dudes.
After his conviction, I was forced out of our home. I was finally able to return only a few days ago, and when I did, I went to the cold storage room to check up on the sculptures, and that's when I saw it. Mr. Frost's body. It had been there the whole time. Of course, by that point, statute of limitations had expired. So I did what I did today, because it was the only way I could think of to make things right.
Seems I misunderstood her intentions. Everything she's done really has all been for Mr. Tangaroa's sake.
Hey, what are you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth? Honka honka. I'm just loving the idea of someone pouring their entire heart out for all the guilt and grief they feel. And then Doc just pops out of the corner and goes, honka, honka. That's fucking funny.
Something that's been puzzling me. Why did Miss Bound use poison gas? Why not a more reliable method? Why disguise the autumn wing as the winter wing?
Me, the comedy relief. I think that is one of the most emotional confessions in the series. It really is, dude. That's one of the best ones I've ever seen.
The only reason I can think of is to confuse someone who was here 18 years ago.
Yeah, and I wonder what she had in mind.
She was trying to prove that Mr. Tangaroa is innocent. Bound's ultimate goal must have been to she have been trying to discover the identity of the true culprit? Miss Bound, your ultimate aim was to see Mr. Tangaroa cleared of all charges, correct? To that end, you had to expose the real killer and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Is my understanding of your intentions correct? Exhibiting the sculptures was sure to force the killer to return to the crime scene. After all, they were the only person apart from you who knew that the body was hidden in the iceberg. So I would have freaked out thinking the body was about to be discovered and come running, yeah? Exactly, but Miss Bound ran the risk that the killer might successfully cover their tracks this time. In the worst-case scenario, they might have even been able to remove Mr. Frost's body from the scene. So how could she lure the true killer into revealing themselves without putting vital evidence at risk? Oh, I see what you're getting at. You're saying that's why the Autumn Wing was all winter-wingy. You thought she was guilty just from seeing her on a thumbnail. She was guilty of something. I wasn't completely wrong. Not completely. I am. You were betting on one thing, Miss Bound, weren't you? That whoever opened the Pisces case you had so carefully disguised as the Gemini case would be the real perpetrator of the IS-7 incident.
No. But that would mean the real killer was... Enough. Not another word. Do you realize the implications of what you are saying, Mr. Edgeworth? Are you prepared to stand behind the accusation you are clearly about to make?
Miss Bound set a trap for Mr. Frost's killer, meaning that whoever found themselves caught in that trap is highly likely to be the guilty party. But I lack the evidence to support such an assertion. To accuse someone without any evidence is not to be done lightly, so... Should I really go ahead and make my accusation and name Mr. Frost's killer nonetheless? Yes. Yes! The ultimate goal is to see the truth exposed. To do that, I need to seize the moment. Yes, Judge Gavelle, I am prepared to stand behind my accusation. I know exactly who is to blame for the IS-7 incident.
Take that!
Mr. Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack, is the perpetrator behind the IS-7 incident. Gusti.
Mr. Gusto. Miss Bound, as we have established, you knew that the opening of the gallery would lure in the real culprit. You set up the poison gas trap in order to catch them. Do you dispute the facts thus far?
You're a very impressive man, Mr. Edgeworth. Just like your father. And of course, you're absolutely right.
And perhaps you could tell us exactly what happened in your own words.
Of course, I have nothing to hide anymore, so I might as well tell you everything. As you said, I set the trap here in the gallery to try and catch Mr. Frost's killer. Before we opened, I made sure that the door to the Autumn Wing was the only one that was unlocked. When opening time came, I went around to unlock the doors of the various rooms, and found that the Autumn Wing had been locked for me inside. The killer is on the other side of the door. The thought, well, it frightened me.
Then she simply walked away, leaving him to fall victim to her poison gas trap.
When I heard that Mr. Gusto was being treated for gas inhalation, that's when I knew he was the murderer. All that was left for the police to find Mr. Frost's body, and then Samson would finally be proven innocent. At least, was my plan.
News. Why didn't you tell me? Oh, I'm always here for you, rat. You could have found another way. You didn't have to be like this.
Thank you, Mr. Fender. You've been very kind to me all these years. But I'm the one who created this mess, so it was up to me to try and clean it up. I didn't care what it took, as long as I could get Samson out of that awful place.
Judy.
18 years ago, the police managed to cover up the fact that Mr. Frost's body had gone missing. If I went to them now and said it had reappeared, I was afraid they might have tried to cover things up again. So I worked hard to set off a very public incident here in the gallery in front of as many witnesses as possible.
I'm so sorry, Judy. I might ship them. I might too. Maybe. Potentially. It works. You, Samson, Gregory, I let you all down. Looks up from what I'm drawing. Who are we shipping? Fender and Judy. Docs, let's get your input. Yeah, Fender and Judy. Fender, this can't be easy for him. Aw, I'm the one who should be apologizing. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, I hope one day you can forgive me. And whatever punishment I have to face, I'm ready to accept it. But please, if I may ask one thing of you, is that you must clear Samson's name. The way the truth of these past 18 years had come to light was unexpected, to say the least. Yet, it only set us down a path towards a more shocking end. We continue. Right now, because we're still playing the game, we're only at the 1 hour 30 minute mark. Technically 125. Man, it sure sucks that they're missing the Switch 2 announcement, the Switch 2 Direct right now. Real shame. Miss Bound, are you feeling a little calmer now? Yes. Good. Then allow me to get to the point. Regardless of your intentions, you broke the law. Yes, I understand. Nevertheless, I understand that you did what you did in order to prove Mr. Tangaroa's innocence. Therefore, if the real culprit really is someone else, then we have a duty to reinvestigate the case. Gavelle, can you just, like, drown yourself in that fountain, please? There is nothing to suggest that anything nefarious took place in the official IS-7 incident records. And right now, there is nothing to suggest that we should take Miss Bound at her word either. So our first order of business should be to arrest the culprit of the case before us. Miss Bound herself, shut the fuck up. Official records cannot always be trusted, Judge Gavelle. Especially since there are those prosecutors who would think nothing of twisting the facts.
It is the only way.
You're damn right our power will shine. Edgeworth power is shining brilliantly. Are you suggesting that the committee at the time overlooked such a prosecutor? That's for you and your people to figure out. However, it is a fact that the autopsy report was faked, seeing as Mr. Frost's body was only found just now. And there really is something of Mr. Von Karma in you, Mr. Edgeworth. No, there isn't. Die. Fucking die. I hate you. I fucking hate you. I hate you so goddamn much. You fucking toxic as shit women. I hate you. 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 Die. Drown yourself. Bash yourself on the head with your stupid fucking gavel and make Eustace watch. I hate you so damn much. Fuck. Her boobs are so weirdly shaped, they defy gravity. Oh. Well. Hi, bad. Hi, bad. You corrected something for me. Welcome in. Welcome in to my fucking rage. Hope you're having a good day in prison right now. Are you happy to see the case being resolved? By continually defying the will of the committee and bending the truth to fit your needs, that's how... Bad. Bad. I need you, bad. Bad. I need you to come in. I need you to come in. I don't know what you can do. I don't know what you can do to screw over this woman.
This fucking horrible fucking ass woman. You are certainly down bad, I am down bad. You need him to what? I need him to somehow put her in prison. I don't care how he does it. I don't care if he drags her in there with him. I fucking hate this woman so goddamn much. It's unreal. If only Crohn's was here to feel my rage right now. This is so bad. Read this goddamn dialogue, my fellas. Like, really fucking... It's a fact the autopsy report is faked. He's just stating the facts and she's just pissed about it. Continually defying the will of the committee and bending the truth to fit your needs. Fuck this bitch. I'm not shipping her with Geist anymore. Geist would hate her ass. Geist would fucking hate Gavelle. They would be a toxic couple. Just remember what I'm trying to calm yourself. I am. My tits are better than hers. I love toxic Yuri. God. I hate her so fucking much. I hate her so goddamn much. Like, I know she's not like a prosecutor. But she's filling the role of a prosecutor. And in that regard, Gavelle, Verity Gavelle, you are my least favorite prosecutor. Go fuck yourself. I hate you. So fucking irredeemable. It's unreal. And the thing is, I know they're gonna redeem her at the end. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I know they're gonna redeem her. But I'm not gonna accept it. Fuck this bitch. I hate her. Worse than Garan is crazy. Yeah. I could go into detail about that, but I don't want to spoil stuff for docs later down the line. So,
Perhaps it is time you understand how the committee sees this case.
No, it's just how you see this case.
The committee is willing to accept that Mr. Von Karma falsified Mr. Frost's autopsy report. Even still, Mr. Von Karma only managed to have Mr. Tangeroa convicted as an accomplice. I personally have come to believe that the real culprit behind the IS-7 incident is Miss Bound.
No, you fucking didn't!
Her plan to poison and kill Mr. Gustave was her attempt to frame him for Mr. Frost's murder.
And this is how the committee sees things, is it?
It is. As always, I act solely in service of law and order.
Just take the gavel. Just take that little gavel. The little gavel you got right there. I want you to take it. I want you to I want you to move. Exactly, guys. I want you to move your hands in the opposite direction.
I will make this star shine brightest of them all.
That I need you to just really wind up and bash that thing into your skull. Please. Do the world a favor. Do the world a favor. Do Eustace a favor. At least do Eustace a favor. He'll be better without you in his life. Just saying.
Sounds to me like all she's doing is acting in service of the committee, covering up the truth. If I can't change her mind, there will be no saving Mr. Tangeroa or Miss Bound.
The committee is willing to...
Alright, let's see here. Willing to accept that Mr. Yes, he did. Even still, only managed to have Mr. Tangeroa convicted as accomplice. That is true. I personally have come to believe that the real culprit behind the incident is Miss Bound. And to poison kill Mr. Gusto was her attempt to frame him over Mr. Frost's murder. But she didn't know he would show up.
Hold it!
He didn't know he would be the one to come here. Why would Miss Bound have chosen to frame Mr. Gusto for murder?
No doubt because he suspected her of being the real culprit. He may have entered what he thought was the Winter Ring simply to see if the Gemini statue was genuine. Little did he know that he would be greeted by a trap designed to silence him. A trap that nearly worked.
Spiders spotted on my ceiling. Blow up now. Don't blow up P.O. He's innocent. Mostly. Do you have any evidence to support that line of reasoning?
Unfortunately, Mr. Gusto remains in critical condition. It will be difficult to prove anything until he regains consciousness. In other words, there is little we can do for now.
On the contrary, there is plenty we can do.
You still have not grasped the situation, have you? Then allow me to spell it out for you.
We have all the evidence we need to explain both the IS evidence and the poison gas attack. We have therefore determined there is no need to investigate either case further. Statute of limitation expired 3 years ago. December 24th. Shit. 3 years ago. Fuck. Damn. Actually kind of sucks. Unless he was out of the country. Do we know if he was out of the country? That's important. So a year from the trial plus 2 years, he would have to have been out of the country, potentially. Signs it was used just before the police arrived, possibly to heat something. On the subject, I think I've become a bigger gun nerd than my Vietnam vet grandpa. God, I wish I had the gun autism so badly. Getting my Glock, actually I can't because it's at my dad's. I wish I had gun autism the level of Snake. That'd be nice. Press on this. You really mean to assert that there are no loose ends left to investigate? None at all.
All of the evidence has been examined at length, and there is nothing more to be learned from them. Therefore, I see no need to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant...
Your Honor, I'm certain there's something that still needs to be examined.
The hammer is about to fall, Mr. Edgeworth. Only hard evidence can stop it now. Present what you think requires further deliberation now, assuming there really is anything left of it.
This isn't over yet, not by a long shot. Still, one thing we don't have an answer to. It's up to me to point it out to Judge Gavelle. So what are we missing? We have the body. What are the things that were hung up on this body? Cause of death was blood loss following a blow to the head. Wait, we don't know how his fucking body wound up there.
Objection!
What? We don't know how his body wound up in the chest. You kidding me right now? Am I fucking wrong? Did we get an answer to that? No. We don't know how his fucking body wound up in the goddamn winter wing. Whoa, just like whoa. I'm so confident that's what we need to say. I just don't know how to say it.
Objection!
Nope. How the fuck did you just try to say my message? Whoa, like whoa. That's how I tried to say it. Something in that regard. I'm tempted to look this one up because it's just like, I know what to say. I just don't know how they want me to say it. WKK is who killed Kisman and AODH is a character in W. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were low-key. I thought you were just saying weird onomatopoeias. I won't lie. Okay, now I see. Because now I remember Autumn was talking about them before. Salt lamp stained with frost blood. Until I show you brick. Was brick drawn on that? I don't think I remember. I don't think so. Let me try this. Oh my god. I am this close to just going through every piece of evidence. No, brick is completely unrelated and very funny. Okay. I look forward to it then. Cece, be honest with me. Do I have the right thing? I'm just trying to find the way to say it, because if I don't have the right thing, I won't look up a guide. Because that's like the main thing that sticks out to me. Like, okay, we know his body was there in the winter wing. Where did it go? How did it go? When did it go? Yeah, remind me after stream to show you what caption I use. Oh yeah, I still need to do that. Fumo's add brain power. God damn it, Cece. I was asking for you to tell me what I was supposed to do.
Objection!
I'm fucking dying here. Okay, let me try thinking about, okay, if it's not the body, what is it? Maybe it's one of those where I have to press. All the evidence you need.
In the manner of the IS-7 incident, we have a body, a murder weapon, and 2 suspects. As for the poison gas attack, we have the sources of the 2 chemicals in Miss Bound's confession. And as for you, Mr. Edgeworth, we also have enough evidence.
Thank you for the head pat stocks, by the way.
To see that you yourself will have to answer the committee in a formal hearing.
Whoa, that doesn't sound good.
Don't worry, Miles Sereno. If nothing else, you're always more welcome at Edgeworth & Co.
Your Honor, I'd greatly appreciate if we could stay focused on the matter at hand. Docs, I fucking hate you. You know what? Just for that, we're gonna gamble. We're gonna gamble your fucking life away for 60 seconds. Remember when I said there's a way I can make this very targeted? I'm gonna do that. You're gonna get 5 rounds, motherfucker. You're getting 5 rounds. May as well doom you yourself. If you want. I haven't changed it yet, Cece. You're just gambling your life away right now. I haven't even changed anything yet. Oh wait, I don't know whether I needed a change. I had to set this up in like a few different ways. Okay, there it is. We're going gambling. Okay, I'm sure. Copy the data. Control C. Control C. Moderation. Target user. Fuck. Sec. Give me a sec. God damn it. I swear to I just need your name. I just need your name. Your name. There we go. Perfect. All right. Time to play some gambling. Even though Discombobulate ended, you don't know my name. Oh, really? 1. Frame 1. Oh, wait, shit. No. I rigged it on accident. I hit the wrong thing. I just killed them. I hit the wrong thing and I just killed them. There wasn't any gambling involved whatsoever. I just killed them. Whoops. Whoopsie doopsie. You deaded them with their name. I literally wrote their name in the death note. On accident. As opposed to the roulette note. See, this is what your Discombobulate did. It made me stop thinking properly. That's really fucking funny, though. They'll be back in a bit. They'll be back in a bit. With 1 less toe. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Your Honor, I'd greatly appreciate if we could stay focused on the matter at hand. Of course. Now, where was I? Killing you. I'll fucking do it proper this time. I'll do it proper this time, unrigged. I can do it. Oh my god. One of the best, this is one of the best things I've ever added to the channel. 100%. Not if I do it myself. Alright, do it then. Gamble, motherfucker. Vanish. That's not how it works. That's not gambling. You disappoint me. You got my hopes up. Oh, Christ. Alright, besides the body, what else? That usually works. In what chats? I've never seen that. I've never seen that one. Okay, let's see here. Unanswered questions. It's a built-in Nightbot command. What does it do? Now I'm curious. Now you got me curious. Since we're fucking roadblocked right now, now you got me curious. What is Vanish? It's already in my chat. Alright, let's take a look-see. Commands.
default. Vanish is not a default command. Like, I've got my stuff, but the default commands does not show anything that is exclamation point vanish. So I don't know what you're talking about. You're schizophrenic. I'm sorry. It times you out for 1 second. I do not have it. I do not have it. All I have is Little Rye devouring you. Oh my god. Okay. Back to fucking figuring out what we don't have. Answer thing on the photograph and the murder weapon. The metal pipe falling. I think that question has plenty of answers. The statute of limitations. Okay, not that. Okay, I'm losing my mind. What's the unanswered question? Have I thought too far ahead? Am I too far into the future? What have I done? The rest of the statues? The Pisces statue sketch? God damn it, now I can't fucking hear. Now I can't hear. Bad! I can't hear if the music stops now. Look what you've done, Bad! You better help me find the next fucking piece of evidence I present. Better be correct. It'll be fine. I can look at the health bar. We'll be fine. Kind of. Maybe. Not really. You therefore examine. There is no need to investigate either case further. A blowtorch. This one. No. Chat, help. At what point do I just look it up? At what point do I just look it up? Because I'm starting to lose hope. Ooh, I see my mistake. It's not Nightbot, it's Streamlabs. I don't use Streamlabs. That's why. I use them for my chat box and that's about it, really. I already did the salt lamp. I already fucking... The Angel's Cookbook. The Gemini case analysis. Sugar composition matches that of sugar found in the pale blue liquid in Artie Frost room 18 years ago. Sugar typed in more found also seemed to be a match that's not relevant anymore. Did I do the statute of limitations? I think I did. I'm at a fucking loss, guys. This... Alright, I'm really at a loss. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up, guys. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm genuinely out of ideas. I presented all the nonsense. But not all, like, the nonsense. I'm looking this up. What the fuck is this case called again? Turnabout Legacy. Okay. Turnabout Legacy. Strategy wiki. Okay. And now, walkthrough. Let's see here. Must prove their innocence. Turnabout Legacy, middle end part 1. Oh damn, we're still damn, we've been in the end this whole time. I didn't know that. End part 3? Alright, the committee's view. Press the fourth statement. Why would Judy have tried to frame Gusto? Gavelle believes that Gusto thought Judy was the culprit and fell for the poison trap on investigating. We have all the evidence we need, but the Gemini case analysis rules on either of those statements. The identity of the blood fundamented Gemini sculpture remains unknown. Until it is identified, the case cannot be closed. That's what it was? Bro! Artie Frost was in the fucking sculpture! Wait. Plainly, his corpse and the sculpture were two different things. I guess that makes sense, but that's still a really dumb one. Like, it technically makes sense, but it's not clear-cut. Okay, I can look, press the fourth statement, present Gemini case on new statement. Yeah, I did all that. Salt, sugar, blood. It's just, it doesn't work because it's like, it just doesn't work because you read blood, you say, hey, Artie Frost's body was in the fucking, he was the fucking sculpture. Just saying the blood has, like, all they would have had to say was the blood has not been determined or matched to anything yet. And that would have just, like, made it, like, way more easy to decipher.
Objection!
I don't like that one. I'm afraid there's still one question concerning the IS evidence that remains unanswered, Your Honor. Do you mind taking a look at this? What is it? They're test results carried out on the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case in the winter wing. You can see traces of blood were detected. The question is, whose? Until that question is answered, I hardly think you can claim to have all the evidence. There was blood in the Gemini case? There was a fucking body! There was a body in the case. This is stupid. Why did I not hear about this from Eustace? Because Detective Gumshoe informed me of the results directly. I was planning to tell Mr. Wiener about it myself, of course. You kept this to yourself until now, despite having no jurisdiction here whatsoever. Mark my words, the committee will hear all about what you have done here today. As ever, my interest is in the truth, and if mistakes were made in the past, they must be rectified. The glorious queen is uninformed. Good. Keep her uninformed. Lock her in a box. Put her in a box. Put her in solitary confinement, so I don't have to look at her anymore. Must report me to the committee, then so be it. On return, we must be allowed to investigate this case to the very end. That is not my decision to make. You will need to discuss it with Eustace. Guess who's back, losers? And with good news, too! It was a close call for a minute there, but Carmelo Gusto is alive! Gusto? He made it. You're the ones who found me. Yeah? Long time no see, Gusto. You're the attorney's assistant. You've grown, and you have an assistant of your own now. Assistant? No, I'm... He hasn't got the gig just yet. This is Gregory Edgeworth's son. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. It moves in mysterious ways. I'm in your debt. If you hadn't found me in time, I wouldn't be here to thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. After all, if you hadn't lived, we wouldn't be able to ask you what really happened 18 years ago. What are you talking about? We figured out quite a bit while you were out cold, including the fact that you're probably the guy who off poor Artie Frost. What? Is this true? Miss Bound set up a very elaborate trap to catch Mr. Frost's murderer. A trap that involved rigging the Pisces case with poison gas.
Perhaps in light of that fact, you could tell us in your own words what happened back then. Or perhaps you'd rather exercise your right to remain silent.
Oh, it's not that. Gusto's here a fan of the old meditation. You know, Om and all that jazz.
Stardew Valley has successfully updated. I will not be opening the game. Because it could not captivate me in the way it captured everybody else, unfortunately. Wow, sleeping while standing seems pretty cool. That's one heck of a talent. Stardew is updated. It is indeed updated. Except there's no sleeping involved in meditation.
Hey, Gusto. Old pal, how about you snap out of it and tell us what went down way back then?
I was caught in the girl's trap, so I must be the killer. Is this your idea of a joke? I'm the victim here.
Indeed you are, Mr. Gusto, and there is no evidence that you have done anything wrong yet.
Holy new merch for a 10-year-old game drop. Hey, yo, what game?
Mr. Edgeworth and Mr. Fender are merely speculating. Rest assured they have no authority here, and that you may pay them no heed.
At least somebody here seems to be on my side. Soma, that's wild. So soon after you beat it, too.
Judge Verity Gavelle, it is a pleasure, Mr. Gusto. I will assist you in any way you may acquire.
I want to hit her with her hammer. I want to hit her with her hammer. I want to hit her with her hammer.
Perhaps you could begin by explaining what actually happened 18 years ago to Mr. Edgeworth.
Fine. You want me to prove I'm innocent, Mr. Prosecutor? I'll be happy to.
So this is how you mean to play it, Judge Gavelle. We're hoping Mr. Gusto will help you hide what happened instead of trying to correct the record.
I believe only in the infallible judgment of the goddess of justice.
Except it is us humans who make the actual judgment calls in a court of law. I don't need it, I don't need it. What is it? What did they release? And so long as there are those who would use the law to their advantage, our rulings are fallible indeed. If you would use your position to further obscure the truth, then neither she nor I will forgive you.
Ha! We shall see about that.
What do you advise, Judge Gavelle?
It would seem that you were under suspicion because it was you who triggered the poison gas. Specifically by opening the Pisces case's lid. Would you be so kind as to share why with us?
Understood. I came to see Frost sculptures, simple as that. I made a mistake with opening times and arrived half an hour early.
Miss Bound, was there no one at the reception desk around that time?
I had left the main entrance unguarded and unlocked, just in case the killer made an appearance. I was also busy making preparations elsewhere, all the way up until the gallery's opening. So no, there was no one here on the first floor then. But I did make sure that all the rings were locked up tight, all except for the autumn wing, that is.
I see. You did all that just to steer the culprit into the autumn wing, which is precisely where Mr. Gusto went.
Sneaking into a building's pretty suspicious, however you slice this.
Silence in the courtroom. I will permit no objections or intervention unless there is some evidence that the witness is lying.
The courtroom? You know this is an art gallery, right?
Mr. Gusto, if you could please continue by explaining why you opened the Pisces case.
I wanted to see Frost's work up close, so I went up to the Gemini. Sorry, guess it was supposed to be the Pisces statue. And I saw that the lid was frozen on tight, so I grabbed the blowtorch from nearby and tried to open it. When I finally got it open, gas came pouring out.
Fascinating. This is the sort of flawless testimony attorneys can only dream of. Yeah, the everything sounds like a lie kind.
I am none too satisfied with Mr. Gusto's explanation myself. Alas, there is no evidence to refute it.
Come on, there must be something. It's Bam's story you should be questioning, not mine. I'm not the one who set up the gas trap. She could have killed anybody with that thing.
But I feel you on the Stardew thing. I didn't like doing the parts that people consider the best parts of the game. What kills me about it is the time. You have no time to really get invested in each day, and thus it's hard for it to keep my attention. So I'm like going around trying to like tend to my crops and like socialize with everybody. Like I feel rushed. I feel rushed to do things. I have to attend to my crops. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do all this fucking shit in such a short time frame. I don't feel like I get to cherish a single goddamn thing. I managed to go like 3 in-game years without talking to anyone I didn't have to besides like Krobus. Damn. Ugh. That's the thing. I want to engage with the things that people consider the best part of the game. I just didn't feel like the game was giving me time to do it. I wanted to go talk to everybody. I wanted to go, like, experience, like, living in this small little town, and I'm not allowed to fucking do that because I got, like, fucking 5 minutes to do everything in a goddamn day. That was the issue for me. It wasn't the content of the game, it was the fact that the game wasn't giving me time to fucking enjoy it. Stop rushing me, motherfucker. You don't need to be goddamn Animal Crossing, but at least be a step up from whatever the hell it's doing. Anyways, we're approaching an ad break, so we are gonna have to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. I don't know where I was going with that. But this is gonna be a good opportunity for some water, snacks, use the bathroom, do whatever y'all need to do. And as soon as we come back, we lock up Gusto. Fuck him. He got a dental plan. Fuck this guy now. He grits his teeth all the time. He won't stop showing them to me. Man needs to close his lips. We get it. You got your teeth whitened. Now stop blinding me. But with all that being said, bye for now. Howdy, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you all had a good break. Hope you got done what you need to get done. Let's get this man done into prison, finally. You know exactly what you was doing. You was gunning for the killer, and nobody else. That killer being you, old pal. So you, lead that self-confessed criminal. Miss Bound is far from blameless in this affair. She will have to pay for her crimes. But so will Mr. Frost's killer. You seem determined to pin Frost's murder on me, but I had no reason to kill him. And you have no evidence to prove otherwise. Will you really not prove that he's the killer, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Gusto fell victim to the poison gas. That much is indisputable. No matter how suspicious his actions in the present may seem, they prove nothing about the past. Yeah, but what about you, Mr. Fender? There must be something we can do. All right. We may not have evidence, but we have plenty of intel. Let's see now. If Gusto killed Frost, he must have had a reason. Claims not to have a motive, but that can't really be true, can it? If he did it, he has one. Not many people commit murder just for fun. In fact, your old man had a little back and forth with Von Karma about a probable motive too, remember? Yeah, and it was fucking stupid.
How can you possibly say that with certainty? If their relationship had broken down for some reason, that very well could have been the motive behind this murder.
Von Karma wouldn't let us talk to Gusto back then, but we can now. If we put the pieces together, I think the picture we've been looking for might just emerge. Yes, I think you might be right. To think back over everything we know about the IS-7 incident, especially the questions that never got answered. Logic chess? Maybe. And the finger marks. Were you the one wearing the gloves? Scone denied that the finger marks on the frame were hers. What if they were Mr. Gusto's? Perhaps he had wanted to take a look through the ultimate cookbook for himself.
So he asked me to go put in a new cartridge. He seemed to think there should have been more shots left in the burr. In other words, the film ran out sooner than expected? Yes, but the number of shots he took didn't line up with the number of shots remaining. But he thought maybe he just lost track somewhere along the way.
My father noticed these things for a reason. I just need to piece them together correctly. The absence of evidence is the only way to the truth. First one. Photographing the cookbook's contents would be the perfect way to steal its secrets undetected. But what if Mr. Gusto did just that? What if he used Mr. Tangaroa's camera to photograph the book? It'd be the perfect crime, so much better than stealing and getting chased by the cops. A sneaky snapshot or 20, huh? That could work. My only question is, when would he have done it? Good question. What about during afternoon tea? Didn't Alicia say that Gusto and Frost had missed out on the little tea party they had? Brings me to the next question. When do we know for certain that Mr. Frost was still alive?
Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he had secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing as he did the only key.
Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled?
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chillywink's room for taste too. Mr. Frost had kept to himself inside his room after the contest had started. He was gone by the time Miss Scone snuck into it to sample his work. And there's a good chance he was murdered before the end of afternoon tea. Just need to... Damn it, I can't review the text. Just trying to pull it together myself as we go through, because I like to do that. So, like... Gusto murdered before the tea. Or the tea. Mr. Gusto, you and Mr. Frost conspired to create works for the contest together, did you not?
Ah, so you know my little secret.
Mr. Fender was kind enough to inform me. Mr. Frost was in charge of the design, while you were in charge of the flavor, is that correct?
What can I say? It still had very long way to travel on the road to becoming a master confectioner.
But you only collaborated up to the semifinals. Something changed after that.
We both wanted to show what we could do, show that we were better than they.
Objection!
And why did you help Mr. Frost with his entry for the final?
What grounds do you have to say that?
Your own statement made to Mr. Von Karma 18 years ago. Told him you had been working together right up until the day before the final.
Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which would have needed at least a day to freeze, and whose flavors would therefore have already been prepared by Mr. Gusto.
Yes, which lines up perfectly with what Gusto told me, that he helped Frost until the day before the final.
In that case, why didn't Mr. Frost reciprocate and help Mr. Gusto in return?
I can hardly be expected to read the minds of the dead.
So why didn't Mr. Frost help you in return, I submit your relationship broke down for some reason, and that became the basis of your motive for murder.
That's not how it was, bitch. It was so blatantly obvious how it was. I think this and the body, like the body missing, like taking a year to be, like, said, are, like, the two things that annoy me the most about this case. Everything else is, like, perfect. But these 2 points piss me off. They're stupid. They're fucking stupid. Sure, we stopped working together, but it was perfectly friendly.
Stopped working together in a friendly way? Kinda hard to imagine, but okay.
Besides, how do you think I did it exactly? You think I just strolled up into Mr. Tangaroa's room and killed Frost? I couldn't have killed the man while Tangaroa was there working on the chocolate pieces, could I? So you see, it can't have been me.
Wouldn't be so sure. Must be a window of time that Mr. Tangaroa wasn't in his room. I can prove that Mr. Gusto had the opportunity to kill Mr. Frost. We can be sure that Mr. Frost was alive until the beginning of afternoon tea, making tea time the only window during which Mr. Gusto could have killed him.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Gusto's story now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, should I have my 6 Dr. Pepper of the day? I mean, if you want. I'm about to be on my, I'm on my 6th Zevia of the day, but this is Zevia. It's a bit healthier. So don't die, please, docs. Don't do anything that would hurt. Yes, drink more Dr. Pepper. Sadly, I'm afraid I'm still rather unsatisfied. Things are finally starting to become clear, and the truth will soon come to light at last.
You mean to say that you have uncovered new evidence?
Evidence? No. I was hoping I might convince Mr. Gusto to open up to us about it instead.
Oh, is it mind games time again?
It is. Mr. Gusto, I have a question for you. I said I have a question for you.
What is it?
You chose to make your entry for the final on your own.
I told you, I wanted to test myself. I wanted to prove I was the best in the world.
If that were the case, then surely you wouldn't have chosen to cheat in the first place. So tell me, Mr. Gusto, why did you feel the need to team up with Mr. Frost? It is time to enter my mind palace. 18 years ago, Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost collaborated in the confectionery contest. But why did they work together, and why did they enter the contest in the first place? That's the information I need to get out of my opponent somehow. I want to look at the evidence. That's a lot. Mr. Gusto seems to have a habit of pretending to be asleep when things aren't going his way. Let's start by focusing on why he chose to work with Mr. Frost. By my hand, now is the time to dig up the truth that was buried all those years ago.
Mr. Gusto, what inspired you to collaborate with Mr. Frost?
We were acquaintances before we were contestants. He was interested in entering the contest, so we decided to sign up together.
And your decision to pair up with a sculptor had nothing to do with your lack of faith in your skills.
You don't know me. We joined forces because we wanted to make the most perfect creations possible. That is all.
It's fine, I deserve it for the day I had. That's true. Go get yourself your Dr. Pepper. Sip it real nice and slow. Savor it. Oh man, this isn't good. It's been a while since a mine chest. Damn it.
He's happy to buy this time as well as it seems. I'll need to pick my words more wisely.
Damn it. Okay, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah.
Frost's son and mine were in the same grade at school, so we got along pretty well too.
Oh, so you were just two friends who happened to try for the title of World's Greatest Confection. Pretending to be asleep when the going gets tough won't work on me, I'm afraid. Mr. Frost was a sculptor, Mr. Gusto. I doubt he cared much for winning a title for confection. In which case, he probably had a different motive for taking part in the contest, wouldn't you say?
It was me. I wanted that title. Frost was only in it for the prize, the ultimate cookbook.
I see, and since your objectives dovetailed so neatly, decided to work together. Well, then something happened, a breakdown in your relationship, perhaps? If so, I want to know why.
Mr. Prosecutor, I'm still quite unwell after my brush with death. Push me too hard. And I'll be on my way back to the medical room.
No, wait!
Then you'd better wrap this up quickly. I'm already dangerously low on patience.
Mr. Gusto is trying desperately to make this escape, but he's not going anywhere yet. But as long as he's still keeping things from me, let's figure out what he was really after next. Let's save real quick. Just in case. There we go. There's no time to lose. I need to pick the right line of questioning. And fast. You too had your eyes on something other than the title, didn't you? After all, I'm not sure the title of World's Greatest Confection even counts for that much.
Now you're insulting the way of the confection more. My goal, my only goal, was to win that title. I didn't care about anything else. You have no idea how much it would have meant to me. Look, my sense of design may have not been up to snuff back then, but you should see me now.
Oh, so you've improved.
You bet I have. I didn't do all that training in Zingfa for nothing.
Oh, how convenient. You were out of the country, Mr. Gusto. How so convenient that you were out of the country for a little bit. Thank you for that information.
I looked up to Tangaroa, you know. Spent hours poring over designs of his work. Even used to watch his show with my son.
Sounds to me like Mr. Tangaroa's work was especially influential in your early studies. With his recipe book, you might have even become the best someday.
Maybe. The book was a real treasure, no doubt about that. Any confectioner would have wanted it.
You claim that your only goal was to win the title, yet you also seem to have had an interest in the contest prize, the Ultimate Cookbook.
The greatest collection of recipes by the world's greatest confectioners. I can't say I had absolutely no interest in it. Even if I did. What exactly is so wrong with that?
Nothing, I suppose. Only that the book contained recipes for medicines, not desserts. Everyone who entered the contest supposedly knew that. I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. I can't let them slip from my grasp now. I just need to stay calm and keep the pressure on. Next, let's find out why he wanted the cookbook. Did you know how valuable the cookbook really was?
What kind of question is that? It was a collection of Tangaroa's recipes. There wasn't a confection in the world who wouldn't have wanted to get their hands on it.
I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. Rather try another tact. So your plan was to win the cookbook and use it to help with your own recreations.
What else? A book like that could have improved my craft tenfold.
Could have made a lot of money if you'd sold it.
I don't know much about what was actually in there. But it was worth more than money, I'll tell you that.
How does he sheathe it when he has, like, shit there? When he has, like, shit on the end of the little, like, pipettes.
Come now, Mr. Gusto. I think you know more about the Ultimate Cookbook than you claim.
They told us a little about it at the start of the contest.
And you know what kind of recipes it actually contained, don't you? And that they weren't dessert recipes at all.
Ah! I see you did your homework. Fine, so you know what was really in there. The Ultimate Cookbook, or the Angel's Cookbook, to give it its proper title, is a collection of chemical formulas and ways to synthesize new medicines nobody had ever heard of.
So he didn't know that the cookbook actually contained recipes for medicines, excuse me. This could be an important clue. Time to deploy my clue. Your designs may have improved thanks to your training in Zangbar, but you clearly didn't do enough work on your skills of deception. You've already admitted that you knew the Ultimate Cookbook was a collection of recipes for medicines. Thereby making your interest not gastronomical, but pharmaceutical in nature. Let's see what we got. Your confection, Mr. Gusto. You had no professional interest in revolutionary new medicine. Which suggests that your interest must have been personal.
Oh shit, Edgeworth domain expansion, chessboard examination, indeed. Hi, Cringe, hope you're having a good one. Best as you can. Hope things are going well with what's going on in your end.
I underestimated you. You're right. Winning the title wasn't the only reason I entered the contest. I needed one of the recipes in that book. It was for my son. He was sick.
He was? Tell me more.
It's none of your business. I told you as much as you need to know.
He looks rattled, but I can't let him off the hook. Let's find out what this mystery illness was. I've almost gotten to the bottom of this. I can feel it. Just a few more moves. Tell me a little more about your son.
He was my pride and joy and my biggest fan.
You entered the contest in order to help him.
You clearly don't have children of your own. Any father would have done the same. I would have done anything to help him. Anything. He would come see me here at the contest venue too, right up to the semifinal.
Really? He didn't get in the way of your work. You were trying to beat Samson Tangaroa. Surely you didn't have the time to look after a child.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do what I could for him. He said he wanted to always be the first to try my creations.
You said your son was sick, Mr. Gusto, and yet he was able to come and join you for the contest.
It wasn't that kind of illness. Nothing life-threatening anyway.
This feels like it could be an important clue. So you needed a cookbook to cure your son?
Yeah. Nowadays, you can get the medication he needed anywhere. But back then, that book was our only hope. Which is why I didn't dare waste my time on fancy tea parties. I had to give my all to my work.
What about Mr. Tangaroa's work? Surely that tea break gave you the perfect opportunity to go steal a glance at it.
And what makes you think I had the energy or time to care about what the other had made?
I think you've made it abundantly clear how much interest you had in Mr. Tangaroa's work. What's more, if you were that determined to win the Ultimate Cookbook, I seriously thought you would have passed upon a chance to take a peek at your competitor's entries.
I had plenty of chances throughout the contest to see and sample my rival's work, you know. But each time I did, nothing seemed to have any flavor. Must have been nerves or something.
And Mr. Gusto tasted had any flavor. Seems like it could be an important clue. You tell me the name of the disease your son suffered from.
You're a real cold customer, Mr. Prosecutor. Isn't it enough that he was seriously ill? Why would you force me to tell me more?
And to deploy my clue. You already shared with me that your son's illness wasn't life-threatening. So why are you so reluctant to share any further details?
It may not have been life-threatening, but that doesn't mean it hadn't been life-altering.
I see. That must have been very hard on both of you.
Of course it was. Well, that was why I did everything I could to find a cure. We were desperate. He couldn't taste anything, not even his favorite desserts.
As I understand it, the Ultimate Cookbook contains the recipe for a very particular medication, and that Mr. Tangaroa used to cure himself of his own taste disorder.
So he had it too?
You say? So your son has a taste disorder then, am I correct?
Yeah, but I let that slip.
When asking me to believe that you needed to win the cookbook in order to cure your son, was that really the case?
Of course it was. What are you saying?
I'm saying that I'm not so sure that's true based on everything you've told me. I'm to deploy my clue. Taste disorders are difficult to live with. It isn't easy not being able to enjoy your food. You should know, after all, you just told me you'd experienced something like that during the contest. You said that nothing you sampled had any flavor. Those were your words, correct? Which would seem to suggest that you were suffering from a taste disorder.
Ah!
A confectioner without a sense of taste, not exactly ideal. Are you sure it wasn't actually your own condition you were seeking a cure for, Mr. Gusto?
Ugh, I've had enough of your speculations. I managed just fine in that contest, made all my own entries, no problems.
Sorry, but I'm afraid you're contradicting your own testimony. You already admitted that you and Mr. Frost worked together during the contest. It's too late to claim you did it all on your own now.
Ah!
You would have us believe that you are a man of principle, a dedicated student of the confectioner's art. Yet you abandoned those principles and conspired with Mr. Frost to rig the contest. Also, you could cure your own taste disorder.
You got me, Mr. Prosecutor. As you said, my sense of taste was shot. Son's, it's fine. Kept it hidden for so long, 18 years, and nobody knew.
Stanley, you can lie to others, but you can't lie to me. Both Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost entered the contest hoping to obtain the ultimate cookbook. For the medicine that would cure Mr. Gusto's disorder and the money it would bring in for Mr. Frost. Thus an uneasy alliance was forged. And that, I believe, is checkmate.
Mind Palace completed. Ah! I'll admit, you're good. I never told anybody of this, but you figured it all out anyway. It's true. 18 years ago, I developed agousia. What's agousia? It's a taste disorder that makes it so you can't taste anything at all. Confectioner's worst nightmare.
Mr. Fender, is that what Mr. Tangaroa had as well?
Ah, the big man had what they call dissociated taste disorder. Basically, some things he could taste just fine, while others had no flavor at all.
So he suffered too. Can't have been easy. And when there wasn't a way to cure it on the market.
Which is why you needed Mr. Tangaroa's cookbook. You admit now that was the real reason you entered the contest.
Which was only one of the reasons. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted the title. When I put my mind to something, it gets done, and I won't lose to anybody. I may have not been able to taste it then, but I knew my stuff was good enough to win.
Oh? So you went into the final thinking you stood a good chance of winning?
Of course.
What was it that Mr. Fender said about what Mr. Tangaroa thought of Mr. Gusto's creations? Mr. Gusto's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design, at least up to the semi-final. Disappointingly, his entry for the final was subpar on both counts. You were told that your entry for the final was far from the prize-winning taste sensation you described. What happened, Mr. Gusto? What went wrong that day?
Fine. You want me to talk, I'll talk, but you're not going to like what I have to say. Frost and I were working together right up to the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing. I wanted to face Tangaroa in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skills. So I helped Frost with his entry, but mine I did alone. If it didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I liked training. And that's all there is to it. Happy now.
There don't seem to be any obvious contradictions in his testimony. Yep, I thought it'd be easy to get anything real out of him. Managed to not let slip really happen for 18 years, after all. Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Miles Reno? See if he can't shake something loose. I think I might just have to, Fender. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. Whew. What time is it? 2 hours, 30-minute mark. I hope we can wrap up. I really hope we can wrap up the case before 10. It'll help just me and my skills. Help Frost with his entry, but mine I did alone.
Hold it!
Yet I heard that your creations prior to the final were scored highly for their flavor. So what went wrong? Was it some kind of cooking accident on that day?
Yeah, no, nothing like that. It was, I told you, I had a taste disorder. My sense of taste failed me. It's as simple as that.
Mr. Frost's entry was complimented on its flavor. Your sense of taste hadn't failed you then. Something happened overnight. I don't think he's going to spill any more beans, Mr. Edgeworth. Perhaps I should ask him about something else. Did something change between the semi-final and the final, Mr.
Not really.
Only difference between the semi-final and the final was that Frost wasn't helping me.
Hold it!
So you really completed your final entry without Mr. Frost's help?
I may not have had his designs to lean on, but I knew I was still solid when it came to flavor. So the visuals were the only thing that changed between the semi-final and the final.
You're sure, Gusty, old pal? I have to call you out on that one, I'm afraid. Than just looks that got a big thumbs down come judgment time. He got trashed on flavor, too. Doesn't sound much like a winner to me.
Did somebody say winner?
Despite his confidence, Mr. Gusto failed on flavor, too. Like if Mr. Frost's assistance shouldn't have affected that, so was there some other difference? 18-year-old mystery. Key to unraveling it is finally in my grasp. I just need to remember everything Fender told me about what he and my father discovered. I think I know what it is. His son... Something happened with his son. His son was tasting things for him. There it is.
Objection!
I can think of one significant difference between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto. Your son, this is him in the photograph, correct? Told me he was here with you up through the semi-final.
He was. What of it?
What indeed, he was here with you until the semi-final, until he suddenly wasn't for the final. Hi, Docs, welcome back. How was your Dr. Pepper? Was your Dr. Pepper? Your 6 Dr. Pepper. I hope you cherished it immensely. You also missed the Mind Palace. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavor to being lambasted for it. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? He wasn't just spending quality time with his father, he was playing a much more pivotal role than that.
I just wanted him to see me hard at work, to show him I was trying my best for us.
I devoured 2 burgers in a whole sitting. Damn! Not that I ain't done similar.
Who knows, maybe it was him being here that helped me do so well in those early rounds.
Talk's a good game, but nothing about this guy screams super dad to me. Indeed, thankfully we would only have to give such an idea credence if his story were true. After all, how much could the encouragement of one small boy affect the taste of a grown man's work? Mr. Gusto prided himself on the flavor of his creation, but then he lost his sense of taste. So had a tough time maintaining his high standards after such a devastating loss. Unless... I'm sure your son was here to cheer you on, but that wasn't all he was here to do, was it?
You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor. But why not try answering yourself for a change? What was an elementary school kid doing here other than support his father?
Your son knew the taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Gusto.
He was my biggest fan. Of course he knew it.
In which case, he would have been a good judge of whether something tasted on brand, so to speak.
What are you implying?
You already told us that you were suffering from a taste disorder.
I'll admit it. You're good. I never told anybody of this, but you figured it all out anyway. It's true. 18 years ago, I developed agousia.
No one knew about your condition. Indeed, I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you had he found out. After all, it was your job to make sure his creations tasted good. Therefore, your son wasn't just here to support you. He was helping you by taste testing your work. Dang, how it all makes sense. Raw stuff tasted good because it really was finished the day before when the kid was still here.
You have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor. Do you seriously think I trust a kid to tell me how to adjust the taste of my masterpieces? I have some pride, you know, even back then.
Did you now?
It assigns me not to have been much to write home about back then. But I always knew my work tasted better than anybody else's. You think I'd risk everything by putting my reputation in the hands of a child? It's just more speculation. That's all it is.
In that case, I ask to speak with your son this instant. Let's see how much of your story he can corroborate.
Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern.
What?
As soon as I got my sense of taste back, I went straight to Singvad to start my training. Cut off all ties with the kid for good.
What? You abandoned your own child? And that ain't the half of it. No one knows where he is. Even now. Odds have looked all over for him, but no dice.
So, still think you can prove your asinine theory? I'd like to see you try.
Why am I getting deja vu? Ah, no! Docs, I'm hugging you. I'm hugging you in spirit right now.
You think I care about anything besides confectionery? Think again. Got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son?
Silence in the courtroom. While Mr. Gusto's words and actions may demonstrate a certain lack of humanity on his part, the goddess of justice cannot judge him for that. Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it is time for you to admit defeat.
Yeah, give it up. 18 years is a long time for anything to surface now. Proof or otherwise.
Mr. Edgeworth, we have to do something.
We don't. The truth might be lost forever.
Oh, you Detective Gumshoe.
Can't imagine whose blood it could possibly be, but I'll get it tested right away, sir.
Please do, Detective. That's the last piece of the puzzle, I'm sure of it. Once we know whose blood it is. Hey, Miles, sorry to cut in on your mind palette. Oh my god. Oh, that made me lightheaded.
That actually, that laughing fit made me about to black out. I actually got lightheaded.
Oh, it's funny. Oh, it's really fucking funny that he called it a mind palace, too. I was pondering something myself. Bro is spacing out in real time, I am. Kind of talking non-stop will do that to you. Our friend Gusto didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he? Because he tried to open the case. Exactamundo. Think we have anything that might explain why I tried to do that? You might, if Detective Gumshoe can make it back within in time with a certain piece of evidence.
That's quite enough idle chatter, defense. Now, if you... Mr. Edgeworth, sir, sorry to keep you waiting. God damn it.
Speak of the devil. I take it you have the test results, Detective?
Yes, sir. The lab just got back to me. Detective, please. Court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume that you are bringing us the evidence Mr. Edgeworth was just speaking of?
What? Hey, no fair! Why didn't anybody tell me about any of this?
It
Is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It needed testing, so I asked him to carry it out. What the? Why is everybody always helping you? I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. Mr. Wiener? Sorry I didn't involve you, but this is important. Can we at least hear what the detective has to say? Well, all right. So, Detective Gumshoe, what did the test have to tell you?
You're not going to believe this, but the owner of the blood we found in the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case is Pomelo Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack.
What are you talking about? Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct.
What do you mean, Edgeworth?
Yeah, what do you mean, Edgeworth?
Yes, what do you mean? Explain yourself. What is the significance of this blood to the case?
Only the very thing the perpetrator of the IS-7 incident has been trying to hide all these years. The fact that your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Gusto, is as good as us finding your blood lying right next to Mr. Frost's body.
Why would there be traces of your blood there, of all places, Mr. Gusto?
You won't answer Her Honor, Mr. Gusto, then I will. It wasn't just blood in the liquid from the Gemini case. There were traces of salt and sugar, too. There were? If you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work was allegedly very salty indeed.
Yeah, you're talking about what Delicia told us back then, right? What was it again?
Did they ever? I have not tried ices that's so scrumptious in all my life.
Really? Man, I wish I could have had a bite.
Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable.
Salty bit?
In the other photo you've got there, this bit, the heartbeat thing.
Feminized liar!
Yes, the liar, and only the liar, tasted as if it had been flavored with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else in Mr. Frost's entry.
Very interesting. And perhaps you could tell us, Mr. Edgeworth, where did the salt on the liar come from? The salt lamp?
Take that!
This is a lamp from the IS-7 incident.
Indeed, and I believe that the salt that gave the liar its flavor came from just such lamp. Mr. Von Karma had established that both salt lamps were in Tangaroa's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost. It was stained with his blood, and no corresponding pool of blood was found in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Right, because the culprit had chucked the piece of chocolate with that under the little stream.
Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in Miss Frost's room either.
Hey, come to think of it, lamps we found in Delicia's room were both broken. Lamps appear to be broken.
Bulbs are smashed. Both of them.
Maybe they fell and broke on the floor? We never did figure out how the one that wasn't used to kill Frost got busted, but are we thinking maybe it had Gusto's blood on it at some point?
Anyone whose blood was found on one of the lamps would have been a person of interest to the police. Killer needed to hide the blood somehow, and in a way that wouldn't arouse suspicion.
Are you seriously suggesting that the liar was used to do just that?
I am. I suspect that the bloody salt was somehow applied to the liar so that it could be hidden inside the case. Because unlike the fountain water, the sculptures would have needed more time and care to test properly. So he waited and waited for his chance to dispose of the liar undetected.
And the reason he's here today is
18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointing to his killer were taken away together. This, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan, and thus a new dilemma arose. Possibly that the body, the incriminating evidence, or both would resurface one day.
So back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in bright and early to try and cover his tracks. But why was his blood on the lamp?
Well, Mr. Gusto, are you finally ready to admit that you are the one responsible for the IS-7 incident?
Mr. Gusto, it's all because of you that Samson...
Gusto, is this time?
So I finally got caught, huh? All these years later. Nobody came close back then. Not even Big Shot Prosecutor or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I had to hand it to you.
You admitted, then, that you murdered Artie Frost.
Yeah. Sure I do. I did it. I killed him. But he only had himself to blame.
What do you mean by that?
He agreed to help me. We were supposed to help each other so that one of us could win. Whoever won was supposed to let the other use the cookbook. On the day of the final, the rat finally showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal.
Sorry, but I'm not helping you in the final. The little agreement is over, Gusto.
But I helped you. I spent all day yesterday making the ice for your pizzas.
Did you? And can you prove that, I suppose?
What do you want? You were planning to betray me right from the start, weren't you? After Frost double-crossed me, I had to make my piece for the final by myself. Like you said, my son wasn't there, so I didn't have any help with the flavor either.
So much for the pride you claim to have in your ability to make delicious desserts.
Go ahead and judge. You have no idea what it was like for someone like me to lose my sense of taste. I give up everything to become the best. Everything! I take pride in that. Something someone like you could never understand.
All right, I don't understand. You take pride in the fact that you resorted to murder. That you abandoned your son. Why would I want to understand someone who could do such things?
A man can't afford to rely on other people. I learned that the hard way 18 years ago. My son never showed up on the day of the final. And in hindsight, I would be surprised if Frost was the reason why.
Why would you think that? What exactly happened to your son?
How am I supposed to know? I told you, he's none of my concern anymore. And according to you guys, nobody knows where he is now either.
You don't care? You're horrible! So with his disappearance, so too went your chances of winning, correct?
Yeah, I had to find another way of getting my hands on that book. That's when inspiration struck. I decided to skip afternoon tea and snuck into Tangaroa's room. It should have been so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I needed and get out of there. Then Frost showed up.
I thought I might find you here. Stealing recipes from the famous cookbook, Tut.
Frost!
What's this, a cure for taste disorders? Oh no, that's just too tragic. A confectioner who can't taste anything. What will people say?
You tell anybody, I'll... Ah!
You'll what? You can't even hit me, you miserable worm.
Why, you... Frost shoved me hard when I went to punch him, knocked me clean off my feet. I crashed into one of the lamps. Must have been when my blood got on it.
So Mr. Frost wasn't the first to get hurt.
It was all over. I realized I had to get rid of that blood somehow, so I scraped off all the bloody bits. I dissolved those shot shavings in some flavored ice mixture and brushed it all over the heart.
That's how you made the evidence linking you to the murder vanish.
Frost was going to blackmail me. He would have made me give him money to keep quiet about my condition.
You decided you had to kill him?
Yeah, I guess I did. Why would I let him live? Would you want someone holding on something like that over your head? Besides, he's someone who drew first blood. Makes for a solid case of self-defense, don't you think?
That was the impetus behind it all.
Anyway, I initially took the lamp to Frost's room, but straight there once I had figured out I was going to hide the bloody part.
Inspired by all the ash sculpting tools lying around the place, I guess?
I'm not as dumb as you pretend to be. Yeah, I figured I could use them to chip it off and grind it up. Once that was done, painting the stuff all over the heart was easy.
But why Samson? Why did you have to frame him?
I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault. You and the rest of them. Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing the lamps in the closet back in Scone's room?
There's only one reason to plant the murder weapon in the room of another contestant. That's to cast suspicion on that person.
What? You tried to frame me, Goosey Pants.
Yeah.
But why? Why poor old me?
I respected Tangaroa. He was the best. A true champion. I would never have wanted him to take the fall. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You had no respect for our craft at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did.
Augusti, how could you?
If you refrained from eating Tangaroa's work, Frost's body wouldn't have even been found. My plan was to wait until Tangaroa was judging your room. And I'd sneak the corpse in the Frost's room and freeze it. Thanks to you, Bound here found it before I had a chance to retrieve it.
I don't understand. Why did you need to freeze his body at all?
Why indeed?
Mr. Edgeworth, surely you must know. Why did Mr. Gusto need to freeze Mr. Frost's body?
It would obscure the time of death. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If it determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, it would have been an obvious suspect.
Bingo! Freezing Frost's body wasn't simple. Preparing everything took time. So I decided to put his body in the chest in Tangaroa's room while I got everything ready in Frost.
Ocean seller, scone, you're a scoundrel! A scoundrel with no respect for knights, confectioners. Gusto.
At the time, it seemed like the perfect hiding place. Never counted on some gluttonous fondness showing up and making the whole ship collapse.
I still don't get it. I thought, why disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all?
The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect of freezing it would have had on masking the time of death. Therefore, we needed to disguise it, at least until it fully frozen.
How awful. Using Mr. Frost's own work to help you cover up your truth behind his murder.
Ironically, Tangaroa would have been just fine if the body hadn't been found before I got out of his room. Only if things had gone to plan, he wouldn't have even had been arrested, let alone convicted.
You mean, it was my fault? Everything that happened to Samson? It was all because I found the body?
Don't let him get inside your head, Judes. None of this is your fault. It wasn't Samson. It would have been Delicia instead. She would have been the only one they arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusto.
It didn't help that the initial detective was so bad at his job either. He never even told the prosecutor that the body had vanished.
Then, Mr. Von Karma had unwittingly placed Mr. Tangaroa under arrest in the absence of a body.
I mean, I guess it would explain why he was so keen to wrap things up. Hell, you think he'd notice something as big as that had he taken a look at a few reports, right?
But someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case, though. Either way, it seems Mr. Von Karma didn't know about the body until after the arrest had been made. Admitting that would have spoiled his perfect record. So he kept it to himself and proceeded to prosecute Mr. Tangaroa regardless.
Can this really be true? You don't feel bad at all? Somebody spent 18 years in prison because of you.
Sticks and stones, girlie. Sticks and stones. What a jerk. I ought to arrest you right now, pal.
I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, Detective.
Yeah. So you noticed, huh? Glad somebody did. The judge is right. You can't lay a finger on me.
Huh? Why? You just confessed some murder.
Yeah. No idea, huh? Then I guess I'd better lay it out for you. Get out of my way, not pal. I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years. You do the math. You can't arrest me. You think I'd have confessed otherwise?
That's right. Statute of limitation is only 15 years. Is this really the end of the line, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's a statute that's expired. He can't be charged, so...
But... How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm afraid that both Mr. Gusto's confession and her deductions will have to be struck from the record, and Mr. Tangaroa's conviction will remain in place.
But we've finally proven that the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. If we can't arrest Mr. Gusto, surely Mr. Tangaroa has grounds for a retrial on that basis.
Does he? I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid that the goddess's judgments are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine.
Committee means for the verdict from 18 years ago to stand no matter what? Bad luck, Mr. Prosecutor. Must be something we can do. Something to bring Gusto down.
And something that I will have to put off for the ad break. This will be a good opportunity for people to get some water, get some snacks, use the bathroom, do whatever y'all humans need to do. As soon as we come back, we'll be wrapping up this case. Ideal, though, it will be in a bit of a more hushed tone. I've been requested in the house to kind of end streams around the 10-minute mark, the 10 o'clock mark. So I'll be a little quieter, but it won't be too much longer for the stream. So, with all that being said, don't go do what you need to do. As soon as we come back, it'll be time for the finale. So with all that being said, bye for now. Let it begin. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you all had a good break. Hope you got done what you need to get done. Let's wrap up this case nice and well. Also, I just noticed he has a little... seahorse tattoo. That's cute.
Hold it!
Yes, in this country, depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may have not expired yet.
Yeah, this ought to be good. Alright, I got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask, ask it.
Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the incident.
Sure. Not long after the contest, I was able to cure my taste disorder thanks to the formula from that book. And not so long after that, I went to Zingfa to really buckle down and hone my craft.
That explains a lot. I tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you were long gone by then, huh?
Could be. I left, let's say, around a year after the murder. It was before Tengaro's last day in court. Going to Zingfa was the best thing I ever did. Flavor design. I'm the full package now.
Objection!
And all on the backs of those lives you destroyed.
Yeah. What's an omelet without a few eggs? Nothing, Mr. Prosecutor. Nothing. You're evil. Sticks and stones, Curly. You can't arrest me, and that's all that matters.
Need more to work with. There's something I can get out of him. I can push him further on the statements he just made. Anything I should follow up on. So he left on right before Mr. Tangaro's training in court. So we can't use that. We can't use that extra year. How long after the context I was able, and not so long after that I went to Zengfall to really buckle down. Yeah, I left, let's see, around a year after the murder. It was before Tangaro's last day in court, so one day. We get 1 day to add on to this. Wait, no, it's suspended. It's suspended during an accomplice. So regardless of whether he was here or not. Yeah. Okay. I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Zengfa, if you wouldn't mind.
Fine. Later went to Zengfa to train, and I finally became the best in the world.
Hold it!
Zengfa? And you were there for a while, I imagine.
Yeah, I left some time after the investigation had wrapped up. I'd been meaning to go there and start my studies for a while. And thanks to the hard work I put in.
What's he making?
It's a dragon. With an orb, too. Neat. My designs are now world class. Whoa, that's amazing. You like it? It's yours. Really? Alright.
So we spent some time in Zengfa's training. But how long? That's the question. Let's give it a shot.
Objection!
Damn it. I know what I'm getting at. I know what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at it. Doing my best. Do the math, you can't arrest me. Is that... I know what I'm getting at. I'm looking up a guide. I'm sorry. I'm doing it twice, but like I know what I need to do. Just don't know how to do it. Burnabout Legacy. Plus, I don't want to be on this case too much longer, just smashing my head against the wall, you know? I've been politely asked to try and wrap things up before 10 as best I can. God damn it, I had to do it on that statement. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Objection!
Alright, there we go. Statute of limitations for murder is subject to the following conditions. Statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country. Means that the time you spent abroad doesn't count towards the total time under the statute. No way! So it's like someone hit pause while he was on Zengfa? It appears that there may be time left on the clock yet. But that will depend on how long you stayed in Zengfa, Mr. Gusto.
It was 3 years exactly.
3 years? Hold on. Nobody say anything till I've done the math. The murder happened 18 years back.
Statute is 15 years, add the 3 overseas. 15 plus 3 makes exactly 18, which means, no way! Mr. Edgeworth, you did it! The statute hasn't expired after all! God, I can't do this well.
Bingo! 18 years exactly. Glad you worked it out for yourselves.
He's just been stringing us along this whole time. Why is he laughing? We're as good, aren't we? We can arrest him now? I hate to break it to you, little sis, but IS-7 went down at the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since Frost's murder. Miss Gusto's stay in St. Paul really lasted 3 years on the nose. It's not enough. We're a few months short.
Not enough, but what did I tell you? You can't touch me.
I hate to admit it, but he'd read the board well when he made his confession. Guys, there's an extra fucking year. Just please, please. How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. If only the statute had been suspended for another year. Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. And you, Mr. Edgeworth, have failed. No! No, we haven't. There must be something I can do, brother, for the love of God. The law can't bring Gusto Gusto to justice. Then, George, what are you thinking?
Objection!
There's no need to go ahead into your rap sheet just yet. We're not done here. Far from it, because there's still a way we can nail him. There is? Alright, Malzarino, pep talk. I need you to think back over everything we know about the case. Gusto's overlooked one critical thing that you yourself were led to believe wrongly about. Which is, he wasn't there for Samson's last trial, remember? Best I can tell, he doesn't seem to know what the final verdict that came down that year was. Edgeworth, damn, does this man have a whole last name for what he does? Welcome in, Hikaru. We're actually about to wrap up this case with something I called ages ago, and I've been looking forward to ever since. But hope you've been doing well, man. Hope the life's been treating you good. Which means there's still one way left to us. Crack open your statutes for dummies there and take another look. 17 years ago, they really did a number on Samson and framed him like a pretty picture. But if we make good use of that verdict now, we can make Gusto pay in full for what he's done. And are you... Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. Samson's my client, Miles, and I can't bring myself to use the source of his pain as a weapon in this fight. So whether we play our last card or not, it's gonna have to be up to you. No, it's best to wrap up this case than to go unprotected. Practice safe case wrapping, kids. Good one. Bringing Mr. Gusto to justice can only happen if I use the outcome of that hard-fought trial. So, should I raise an objection and play that card or not? Raise an objection. Put the murderer in jail. It's that simple, guys. Father and Mr. Von Karma. One sought to reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I chose to follow. The one that seeks to reveal the truth. This court has reached its final verdict. The record will state that Mr. Guda has been found not guilty on all counts. No, Your Honor, Mr. Carmelo Gusto is absolutely guilty, and I refuse to let him walk away. His crimes are too unspeakable to go unpunished. Do you mean to suggest that you have grounds upon which to call for his arrest? I do. And show Judge Gavelle something that proves the statute of limitations hasn't yet expired.
Take that!
Come on, dude. Okay, the page. The page, thank God. I thought I had already lost. Alright, so case overview, suspect data. I'd like to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Samson Tangaroa is convicted as an accomplice. It took around 1 year from his indictment to that verdict to be reached. Yes, that does seem to be the case. Look, you gave us details, certain conditions pertaining to the statute of limitations for murder. One of them, as mentioned, is that the statute is suspended if the suspect flees the country, and another states that the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. What?
Tangaroa was convicted as an accomplice? Yep, guess you were in Zhangfa when the verdict came down. Samson was convicted as an accomplice, not as the main perpetrator. Which is clearly news to you, and not good news either. Am I right?
But how could that be? The Tangaroa was an accomplice to anyone. He was innocent, and you know it.
Oh, we know it. It's what we've been trying to prove all along. In a pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction will be the very thing that sets him free. If you spent 3 years in Zhangfa, and your accomplice Samson Tangaroa was on trial for 1 year, that means you could still be charged with Mr. Frost's murder up to 19 years after the fact. In other words, the statute of limitations hasn't expired at all.
The goddess's judgment is infallible, but that of her servants, it appears, is not. It seems the prosecutor in charge of this case may have erred. Unbelievably, we may have no choice but to instigate a full inquiry.
No. How could this? You weren't supposed to be able to.
18 years. That's a long time to let somebody else suffer for your crimes. It's time to pay the piper, Gusto, and not a moment too soon. I love Fender so much.
But finally the greatest. My brilliance has been recognized. I gave up everything for this. Everything. Even my son.
More's the pity. But you can't run from the law forever, because the bills come due at last. I need to see his freak out. Badly. God, I wish I could yell.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Case closed.
Mr. Gusto's all set up for his trip down, sir.
Oh, good. Which means it's your turn next, right?
I suppose so.
Cute.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I've caused you all so much trouble. But thank you. Thank you for so much for bringing Mr. Gusto to justice at last.
I'm afraid there's no escaping the consequences of your actions, But those actions were born of the legal mistakes that were made all those years ago. I'll know that. So allow me to apologize in return, on behalf of the prosecution. Dude just makes a manifesto all in one go, then kills in the same minute. Wild.
Oh no, I have no one to blame but myself for this, starting with those sculptures.
Hey, Chodes, maybe you might want me to represent you? I'm not some nervous newbie anymore, and there's no way I'm letting you take the rap for everything. Aw, look at her.
Oh, I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender.
Yeah, I want them together. I'm in agreement with Cece. I'm in agreement with Cece. Sorry, ma'am, but you gotta come with me now.
Of course.
Lovely. Judge Gavelle, why did you lie to us?
Lie? What are you talking about?
You implied that there was no case for a retrial, but as we've proven, that wasn't true. Surely anyone truly committed to seeing justice done would have called one as soon as the body was found.
I am under no obligation to answer such questions.
You clearly have no intention of doing so either.
Truly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you give me little choice but to report back on your continued transgressions. No doubt you will be called to appear before the committee in due course.
Fucking hate her.
Now, I must be on my way.
Bitch, if you don't have an entire army held to your head, I will hate you forever.
What the heck? And after you caught the real killer and everything, isn't that what prosecutors are supposed to do?
Regardless of how it may all play out, I will never regret what we accomplished here today.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Ah, you're still here.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? Why did you stick your nose in this case anyway? You weren't even on the job. The job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Wiener. Not only as prosecutor, but as a person. I don't get it. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Not as long as you believe that closing a case makes you a wiener. That's going way over my head. I'm going home. See, I love him. I love Eustace. I hate Gavelle so much. Eustace is just stupid. And I like stupid. What is that all about? Eustace still has a lot to learn is all. Dot, question mark? It's going over Mr. Wiener's head. Milesy. Yes? I just wanted to say old Regly Pegly Leg would have been proud of you today. Look at me tearing up. That, and thanks for helping poor Sammy Pulpu. Of course.
Hey, Edgy. Looks like you cleared everything up, huh? So, what happened exactly? I was kinda busy sketching. Wait, where did Judy and Verity go?
Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you? I am loath to admit it, Larry's sketches did come through for us on more than one occasion. Not that I'm about to tell him that.
Quit it with the glaring, will ya? Whatever I did, I'm sorry.
Calm down, Larry, I wasn't glaring at you. You totally were. You're just like your pop. He was a terrible liar, too. He was? Listen, I'm gonna head out. Need to fill Samson on what went down today. You want to come with? Yes, of course. Great, then I'm coming too. Hey, why are you here? I'm sorry, but why are you here? I'm sorry, why are you here? What's Mr. Tangaroa like? I can't wait to finally meet him. Oh, he's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. Even while locked up, he can't help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. By 3 p.m., cake extravaganza is a thing for prisoners and guards alike. Really? That sounds awesome. You think there'll be any left for us to try? Did we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison the other day? They've been some of Mr. Tangaroa's baked goods. God, he looks horrible. Johnny, what are you doing here? Heard you all coming to see Mr. Tangaroa, so I volunteered to escort him. Aw. Bro, you can see the years on him. Poor guy. Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangaroa. Mr. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick, Kay Faraday. It's very nice to meet you both. Miles here is Gregory's son. Is that so? Your father was very kind to me and fought so hard for my case. But in the end, I betrayed him, made a false confession, and... Don't worry, Mr. Tangaroa. Mr. Fender has explained everything to me. Sure did, and now we're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago. The truth? Judy did all of that. For me. Crazy kid racked her brain for 18 years till she'd finally figured out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out she really would do anything for you. Oh, Judy, I never did anything to deserve such devotion. Come now, Mr. Tangaroa. I think we all know that's not true. The bond between the two of you is held strong for all these years, after all. You think so? I guess I'd better show him. Which piece of evidence is proof of the bond Mr. Tangaroa and Miss Bound share?
Take that!
These chocolates! Judy made them, didn't she? Yes, she did. Super delicious and sweet. Miss Bound continued making them just as you taught her, after that fateful day. But there would always be something waiting for you when you finally came home. Judy. I bet they're beyond super sweet then, aren't they? Very much so, I'm afraid. I only wish we could hand them to you. Don't worry, sir. I'll make sure he gets them later. It would be a clear breach of prison policy. Not that I have the authority now to stop him anyway.
Thank you very much. No, Detective. Something about you reminds me of Detective Bad.
Really, pal? Because I look up to him a lot. He's my role model. He's mine too, buddy. He's mine too.
You don't say. Seems fate likes to bring people together of all sorts together, huh?
Now hang in there, Samson. Just a little longer. We'll be able to get you out soon. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Nobody should have to wait 18 years to get justice.
Don't be silly, Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry. Or rather... Thank you. Truly.
Samson.
Well, I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. I'd better make sure there's something delicious on the table for her when she finally walks through that door. Don't let me down, Eddie.
Leave it to me, big guy.
I love this case a lot. Like, a lot. I would say this is like one of my top 5 cases. This is just sweet. All around.
Alias 7 incident. It's been 18 long years, but this case we'd inherited from my father. Finally coming to a close.
Hey, Miles. Thanks for today. And sorry for forcing you to make the final call like that.
Once and all, I simply made the call that felt right to me.
Huh? What are you guys talking about? No, Samson was wrongfully convicted. We had to pretend that he wasn't in order to nail Gusto. But to use his false conviction against him, even to save him. As his lawyer, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah, I can see that. Now that Gusto's behind bars, I can finally start to get that wrongful conviction overturned.
Yes, and I'm sure you will.
Wait a minute, does this mean that even if you were only doing what's right, if the false conviction had been overturned before today, Mr. Gusto would have gotten away scot-free? Yep. What we folks in the trade like to call the legal contradiction. Law is far from perfect. It's the things like legal contradictions, right? Yeah, but you never know. Things might change. Law's always evolving, just like us humans. Your Uncle Eddie, Miles Areno, am I right?
Potential for growth and change. People in the law, huh?
So, Miles, are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor, or help people as an attorney? Someone tells me you got a big decision ahead of you. One only you can answer.
No.
Well, let's just say I won't complain if you show up at the office one day. And on that note, it's time for me to skedaddle. I owe you big time, and I always repay my debts. But for now, thanks again for today. I mean it.
There he goes. What a man. Did he seem kind of in a hurry to get out of here, or... He did. Honestly speaking, I'm the one who owes him a debt of gratitude. For all, he gave me the chance to reckon with my father's case. I was a boy, all I ever dreamed of was becoming an attorney like my father. And during my time at Mr. Von Kalmar, I went the way of the prosecutor instead. Eventually, with the help of some good friends, I found my own voice, a new way to live. Now, my career as a prosecutor is at risk of being taken away from me. It'll be time to take another long, hard look at how I want to live my life, whether I like it or not.
Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. May have taken 18 years. We're finally in a position to prove Samson's innocence. All thanks to your boy Miles. Couldn't have done it without him. You should have seen him the way he fought for the truth gave me chills. It's like I was watching you. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were. With these guiding principles you tried to instill in me, I like to think I'm embodying them now as I carry on your legacy. Here's hoping. Boy will be joining me in that soon.
Am I going to fight crime as a prosecutor? Help people as an attorney? What is the right answer? Which path should I choose?
What a fucking case.
It was lengthy, don't get me wrong, but it justified its length. Unlike a certain second case that I never want to look at again. But regardless, for right now, that's all she wrote. Let's see. Who am I gonna raid out to today? Who am I gonna raid out to today? Alright, now let's go hit up Lunar. Let's go hit up Lunar this time. Yeah, again, our weekly raids, we've been slacking severely. But yeah. Godmother, you motherfucker. You asshole, I see you. You piece of shit. Damn you, Lunar. You have a good night too, Docs. Thank you for sticking around. I'm sure you're tired. You go have a good night, and I'll go take care of myself. That motherfucker, I saw him right when I raided. Asshole. I'm almost done with the thing. Good. I can't wait to see how hot I am. But yeah, I suppose that's it for tonight. Tomorrow's going to be Ace Attorney with Docs. That's going to be at 2:30 EST. It's going to be on the quieter side, kind of like how I've been doing this whole shebang right now. So don't expect me to be fully goofy, unfortunately. And yeah, not much else to say there. Hope y'all had a good time. Hope I was entertaining. Hope y'all have a good day, night, afternoon, wherever y'all are, whatever the fuck y'all are doing. And y'all have a good one.